Travel. Say hi to everybody.
Sure.
Hey everybody, I hope it's working now. Are you guys doing well? Please do tell me if the sound is working now. I really hope so. Sorry about all the sound issues we've been having. I don't know what's going on, but it's like literally just been having problems. Hey, they say sound. Okay, RV. Let's try this again, dude. How are you doing today, sir?
Awesome, brother. Like the old saying goes, if you fail, try again, and that's what we're doing. We got to get the important information out there, and nothing's gonna stop us, brother. That's how it goes down.
Yes, exactly. Wow, what a disastrous start. But that's just good, because it means the powers that be don't want us to get the information out.
Absolutely. I know all about that, brother. They love to mess with me, of course. So yeah, we just keep pushing forward no matter what, brother. That's the only way to do it.
Yeah. Guys, please just do share the show to everybody so they know it's live now, because I'm sure that everywhere it's just not showing anywhere to people. So yeah, please do share it. So I don't even think we need to do introductions though. But should we?
Yeah, we can go over just the foundation, the basics, and keep it brief, and because most people know who we are. But yeah, it's just for anybody that might wander across and not know not know much about what's taking place here. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So if you guys don't know who RV is, RV Truth, Russian Vids, he's changed his channel name recently. What's the name of your new channel?
Well, I gotta be careful with that. I gotta be careful. Yeah. We'll just say it's Roddy Piper related, and yeah, we'll leave it there, man. Because if I just want to lay low on that for now, brother. Unfortunately, I love to get that out there, but yeah, I want to purposely kind of fly under the radar and let people kind of like gradually find me organically, and I hate to do that because it doesn't help me. But under the circumstances, that's how I got to do it, unfortunately, brother. Thank you, though.
That's understandable, yeah. But like I said, when I do see a video of it, I'll just share it on my community post for people.
Yeah, that sounds good. That sounds good because, how things go.
Yeah, it's all word of mouth.
What's it? Yeah. All right, brother. All good. Okay. I'm just checking here on your Masonic poll. And 11 people already responded. If Masons run this world. And it's about 58 to 42, and yeah, so to me, you know how I feel about it. It's a community, but they definitely put the Masonic numbers all in front of us, so we're going to go in that direction.
Definitely, yeah. I don't think the people see, the problem with the people today is they're very desensitized to actually read behind the lines. They don't see the show for what it is. They just see, these guys are just conspiracy geeks again, making up stuff. Somebody rules the world, but they don't actually see it's plain in your face. I mean, that's how the Masonics work. They have to give you some truth in plain sight. So it's their way of having the magic trick work. So they lie to you, but they have to give truth in that lie.
Yeah, brother. I'll say this, and I'll jump in here. Basically, these people are. Freemasons work off duality. If it's all 100% lie and they don't reveal the truth through music, movies, cartoons, TV shows, then they're no longer working on duality. They're no longer working off their blueprint of Freemasonry, which is duality. So if you remove the truth, it's 100% lies. Now they're no longer Freemasons working on duality. Exactly. So they have to put it in there, but they're going to put it in the opposite form. And like I said, the foundation of this world, they always tell us the world's very old in science. When they tell us that, it's the opposite end of the spectrum. It's relatively newer. If they say the sun is far, it's relatively closer. If they tell us we have no soul, we have a soul. It goes on and on. If they tell us we're living on a spinning ball, it's flat. So that's the foundation of how they operate from the start.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, because that's what I said. They have to. It goes on what the Bible says when Satan is here to rule the world. So he literally does the opposite of God's word. So they go and they literally twist reality to suit them. So they go against a dual 180. You can put it in other words.
Yeah, just like the concepts of like the Michael Jackson backslide. You watch that movie from 1980 called Flash Gordon. It's known as a different name in Australia. It goes by Speed Gordon. But there's this one character with Masonic type of appearance, his outfit, named Kaleidos. And he's with Flash Gordon in the dungeon. And then he tells Flash Gordon, you have X amount of time until the sands run up. Then he flips the hourglass, the sands are running up. So it's like the duality aspect with everything, just like Satanism with Anton LaVey, the left-hand path, instead of going the right way, they go left. So it's just everything's on opposites, with everything they do. It's just really, really, and very like things I'll throw in there real quick relating to what people really have to understand their language to understand what's really in plain sight. For example, when you look at certain words like sleep or sheep or lee or like pee-wee, these if you look at the mirror reflection, you're going to see the dual 33s with pee-wee. With sleep, you're going to see the opposite mirror reflection, you're going to see the 33. The number 8, like sleep, they say 8 hours. Well, you split the 8 in half, you get E in 3 or 33. So these are concepts like Back to the Future with Marty McFly, MM for 33. Yeah. He has to go 88 miles per hour to go back in time. So the 88, you split the 8 in 8 in half all the way, you have your dual 33. So all these concepts are Masonically based. So people denying the Masonic influence, they're not getting it. Definitely. They're not getting it at all.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, 33 is how can I put it, the pinnacle to them. That's why when you become a 33 Mason, you are actually in the actual club, you can put it to say. Because then you are enlightened. So I think,
it's interesting with the 33. There's so much duality with it. So my analogy is like a knife. Knife could be used for something like stabbing someone. It can also be used to free a net from the whales. So the 33, it says in the Bible how God's chosen people are the third. But see, they take that and they reverse it. They take it as, that's something good. We're going to turn it evil. Just like the swastika from ancient India was a peace sign. So they take it, they invert it, and turn it into something evil. So evil into good, good into evil. Just like the Nero's cross, which is not the cross, well, you can call it the cross, the peace sign, the so-called peace sign, where it was something bad against Christianity, but they put it in, inserted it in with the hippies, specifically in the 60s, where it went from something bad to something good. So they're always taking good and again reversing it to making it bad and good. So you can see that being displayed in society throughout in every facet, not just the U.S., because it's a worldwide community, and they're all using the same foundational Masonic way.
Yeah, definitely. You say you have something you want to present?
Yeah, I'm gonna do that if I can. Let me see here. Let me go to Skype and let's get to it. So, because this is the topic of discussion that we need to get into, definitely. Let me get into this. Some of these things that people that follow my channel, they'll understand, they'll get. But for the new viewers, this is foundational things. And let me make sure that's sharing first on your side before we proceed.
Yeah.
Make sure you see that,
it's showing
right?
a great. There we go. Yeah, it's showing.
Okay, like these foundational things, people like, we can mention some characters in the so-called truth movement, and there's a lot of disinfo agents that disregard the number 33. They disregard the color orange. Orange is 33. So, like William of Orange in Europe, so it's William of 33 in numerology. Orange is 33. So the concepts are being, they try to downplay it with a lot of these fake truthers. And I'll just say it. People like Jaron, David Weiss, Dell from Beyond the Magic Group, they gatekeep. They downplay the importance when in their own Masonic writing, as we see here from this encyclopedia, where it states the rise of Masons learning to converse without the use of speech. So what does that leave you with? Signs, symbols, dates, numbers, and colors. And they totally try to ridicule that. So to me, it's gatekeeping. If they're knowingly doing it or unknowingly, either way, they're gatekeeping how Masons operate. And, I showed that, and also, of course, I show this so many times in so many presentations, but it's really key for people to understand Masonry with Manly P. Hall, of course, a very famous 33rd degree Freemason. When the human race learns to read the language of symbolism, a great veil will fall from the eyes of men. And that gets into, for example, when you look at the so-called Roswell crash from 1947, Roswell, New Mexico, on the 33rd parallel. So they have their Masonic, signature all over the place with these events. Jumping ahead here, I'm going to show, like, this is just the, we have Atlanta, Roswell, New Mexico, and Phoenix, Arizona, all the 33rd.
I love how Roswell's on there.
I'm sorry?
I love how Roswell's on there, and that's the way they love pushing the UFO rubbish.
Yes. And what I want to show here, so this is really important and key. So you had the 1947 bogus crash, which one thing I'll mention that people do not think about. When you watch documentaries on Roswell, they always talk about how the parts from the so-called spaceship were indestructible, how they used sledgehammers, how they tried to burn it, caught it, and they couldn't damage it all. But all the pieces all over the place. It's busted up in a million pieces. So how can they bring all these little pieces on the table if the pieces are indestructible? That foundationally doesn't make sense, and no one thinks about these very simple foundational things. But so I'm talking about the UFO. Basically it's just a Masonic hoax. So now you flip over here to the 1986 movie Aliens, pushing the alien programming subconsciously, where we know they put so much. Movies are all about programming, but during the programming, they're going to show their signs and symbols, where you see here with the Masonic ring, and Michael B in the background smiling, Masonic ring, and the Masonic ring, he's doing the one eye, like the all-seeing eye, Polaris or Lucifer, just like you see John Carpenter here, the eye of illumination, the single eye, their one-eyed God. So definitely the influence, and I really have to emphasize, with these movies, James Cameron, he's behind this, Titanic, and so many other movies. Again, it's always programming first, and entertainment comes in a distant second, and that's something that I really want to emphasize.
Yeah, they got the agenda. They actually got the agenda, and they do it so subtly that the people don't realize. They get desensitized to it, and I mean, it's literally sits in your brain without you knowing.
Yeah, people have their guard down when they're sitting in a movie theater. They're not thinking about, if there's any type of manipulation taking place. They're just looking like they see it as pure entertainment, no agenda. So when they watch the news, they say, hey, they might be trying to, swindle me. They might have an agenda to push on me. So even people watching the news, they have that in the back of their mind. But when you're in a theater, a dark theater, all these lights are flashing, and all these, all the spaceships, deep space, Star Wars, Star Trek, aliens, it goes on, and that's just conditioning, and it's just being built in like the database of the human mind without people knowing it. And the problem with people is, of course, it's just like a computer. You put a CD-ROM, floppy drive back, floppy disk back in the old days, like with the Commodore 64. You're putting that information in. That computer's just reading the information. It's not, deciphering anything. And that's what people need to do. Instead of just, in taking the information, questioning what's being put in. Just like when people read books, they just absorb the information so many times without questioning, and that's just part of the whole education system. Take the information in, don't question it. These people know, and it's just stuck in people, and it's like glue. And I always say this: the human mind is like clay. At an early age, it can be shaped and formed, but after a certain point, it gets hard as a rock, and you can no longer shape it. You know, it's
Yeah. No, definitely.
And more things here I wanted to show. I'm getting an echo. I don't know what's going on with that. But just showing how, I'm showing how they're controlling the movie aspect. So people might say, oh, this is a stretch. You talk about, movies, music, entertainment. It's all controlled. But you look at people like for example, Marilyn Manson, the MM for 33. He's a creation, and he has a Masonic ring, So this is prevalent. I can show many, many examples of this. Like I had they had this one movie that came out a couple years ago with Queen, with Freddie Mercury. And just the opening scene, they have this one individual pushing a cart for a split second. But if you put pause, when the person's pushing the cart, you put pause, the individual's flashing the Masonic ring. So they're always like showing their cards in plain sight. And that gets into people, now I'm going to get right into it. With who I call, yeah, go ahead. You want to jump in there?
No, I'm just saying, they definitely. I remember that was with that Rami. I can't remember his full name. He acted as Freddie Mercury. You're right. They actually quite in the few things in that movie they flashed some 33 that people don't actually realize.
Yeah, they have no idea. So it comes down to the flat Earth infiltrators. Listen, they've been doing it with many things in the past. I'm going to be careful. I'll say it carefully. The 9 and the double 11, or the 11, I should say. Mm-hmm. I don't want to get in trouble here. So they controlled that aspect when it came to truth. So do you think they're going to leave Flat Earth alone and not have their agents in place? All these people like Jaron, David Weiss, they scoff at Masonry, they scoff at the numbers, they ridicule the truth. Yeah, so they give you only a fragment of truth.
Yeah, they push the New Age mumbo jumbo. They seem to like to push the Flat Earth Society controlled opposition model to everybody, and then it makes us all look like a joke because they literally push it, and it's like they're proud of it. So yeah, 100% agree. They are gatekeepers. Yeah, and something needs to be done about it.
When Del from Beyond the Imaginary Curve keeps pushing, literally he's pushing that Earth must be accelerating up. That's what's causing gravity. That's an old Flat Earth Society nonsense.
Exactly. That's a Flat Earth Society narrative. It's part of their model. It's controlled opposition.
And he completely pushes that. And the problem is, there's a lot of people newer to truth that don't know that. They don't know that. They just know what's on YouTube. And when he pushes that, they don't know that, and they just take it in. So that's the problem I see with truth with people like even like Eric Dubay or any of these people. Initially, they put out outstanding information, solid work, and then once they have you in their nets, now here comes the disinfo. Once you put your full trust in them, then they push disinfo on you. Like the man with the small mustache is a hero when he's propped up actually by the Vatican. The world's a stage. So he wants people to believe, oh, there's sovereign segments of government, when it's actually not the New World Order, it's the Old World Order, and they've always been working together. And, the first, when was it, Coca-Cola had the embargo?
Yeah.
Then they came up with Orange Fanta, things like this, just Orange Fanta. And they actually had a commercial, like a mock commercial with the man with the small mustache with the Orange Fanta that was made in Germany. So things like that, they give us clues, but definitely being propped up by the Vatican, just tells you right there, who this person's all about.
I mean, the Roman Empire never just vanished into thin air. They just literally, how can I say, they transformed into this governing entity, you can say. They just didn't disappear. They're still running the show.
I always look at it as, the old saying with, London being the head of the snake. You have, the financial aspect. You have Rome, of course, the religious, and of course Washington. with the military, but they all have the ever-present, like what it's called, the Washington Monument. I forgot the name. How can I forget the name of the? What do you call the Washington Monument in Egypt? What's the name for it again?
The obelisk.
Obelisk. The obelisk. Yeah, I lost my train of thought right there for a second. Yeah, the obelisk. So the obelisk is in Rome, of course. It's in Vatican City. It's in London, England, and it's in Washington, I just stated, the Washington Monument. So the obelisk is like their pyramid is like presented for all to see. They're elevating their pyramid like almost like on a staff.
Yeah.
And it's like so people can see it, in plain sight. So yeah, they're definitely about the signs and symbols. And if people dismiss that, then they're lost. And that's the key is I really have to emphasize is there is consensus within the mainstream. They're trying to build a consensus in the alternative media. So we have to be very careful of that, of course. And we're very aware of that with a lot of people misleading a lot of people in truth, giving you only, obviously, the partial truth and not giving you the real truth. And that's the major problem.
Michael Kahn says there's also an obelisk there in Blackpool.
Yes.
So it's popping up everywhere.
Yeah, the obelisk, and of course, they got the black cube.
I know they got their mock Stonehenge there as well by Blackpool. They on the one side.
Yeah, they have all their signs symbols, like I said about the black cube, like in Mecca, Fifth Avenue, in New York. They have also the clear cube with the Apple computer. Of course, the bite of the apple represents the Garden of Eden. So, yeah, it's everything. They're not going to tell us anything about truth with words. It's always going to be through their symbolism. And again, people really have to emphasize and learn how they operate to understand exactly what's happening in this world. It's not going to be told to you. It's like that one song by Depeche Mode, "Enjoy the Silence."
Oh yeah.
Words like violence, words are meaningless. So they're kind of like with the Masonically controlled music industry, they're injecting the truth of how they operate through seemingly innocent songs. And it's funny because they actually sang that song, was it back in 1990, on top of it was at the North Tower, way back when. And it's just, those are the words that really stick about, words are meaningless. Then the song, the lyrics go on to say, things like, your little world comes crashing in while on top of the North Tower. So it's like, we know this. Those buildings were meant to come down before they're even built. And it was kind of like they're planting a seed, and definitely, this is not by chance or coincidence, everything they're putting out. Little hints and little clues everywhere.
Yeah. I think this is quite telling. Have you seen how the poll looks at the moment with 85 votes?
Let me take a look here. Let me see here. Well, like I said, a lot of people are saying no. They're probably going to say the small hats. They're going to say the Jesuits, which is another form of Masonry. I want to. The people that say no, why don't they put the organization maybe in the chat, but maybe coded?
Yeah.
Which they believe from you.
Yeah, but I think it's very telling the people that say no there. But then again, I have a lot of globe defenders in my chat that come here, so they will just put no because most of them are, I'm going to put it, soccer counts and Masons.
Yeah, listen, they of course listen to us. They know exactly which channels are putting the real truth out there. They're definitely going to have their stooges in the chat. So I'm fully aware of that's happening, and they follow you not only like if you're on YouTube, if you're on Twitter or any social media website, and they definitely listen in.
Yeah.
Again, I really have to emphasize that. But yeah, that's okay. Like I said, so I'm looking for responses for who they claim when they say no, who's really running things.
Yeah.
What are they responding with?
Definitely. I just want to quickly say thank you, PJ Cruikshank. You get your free super chat for being a member for a month. Awesome. For 2 months. Just sending cause I got it for free. So thanks, PJ. Really appreciate it. Yeah, no, definitely. Then they must tell us who is running this place. Because I think the problem that people, like I said, they get so desensitized, they think somehow everything just runs coherently out of chaos somehow with no one actually running anything. It's nonsensical. Everything always has to have a govern of some sort to make things function.
Yeah. I look at it this way, and I really want to emphasize on people in the truth community, because there's a lot of leaders, there's few leaders and a lot of quote leaders and a lot of followers, and people, again, and I hate to say this, I don't want to sound condescending to anybody, but they still have the same frame of mind of, okay, I used to listen to what people in the mainstream said, now they jump into truth and they just absorb, and they need to, like, just because someone puts out good information for like 1 or 2 months, and it's great information, but you got to question people along the whole entire journey with that individual, their channel. If something that's a red flag, you got to say, wait a second, what is this person pushing? Just don't take it in. So if there's a red flag, definitely say, wait a second, what's going on here? This doesn't jive, and that's a big thing with me. So again, with so many so-called truthers really trying to, like, I'll just say it, Dale from Beyond the Imaginary Curve, he never wants to, he always tries to, like, take the attention off Masons or people running the world. He's like, no, be responsible for yourself, ignore them. I get it in a way, if everybody ignored the people in power, they wouldn't have power. But the way it works in this world is the majority of people, of course, believe the news. They believe what's happening. They believe all the nonsense. So they're the creators of the problem. That cannot be ignored. That's the person that needs to be spotlighted, is who's creating the problem, and now how to eradicate that problem, and that's by pointing them out. And obviously don't give them attention. Tell other people don't listen to what they're pushing, but it needs to be pointed out what the problem is. And I see you have a super chat.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Goldie, for $10 US. Thank you very much. I had to pay for my super chat. Big love from from flat South Florida. Yeah, definitely flat in Florida. It's flat everywhere. Thanks, I really do appreciate the super chat. I hope you guys are enjoying RV as much as I am. I'm still really stoked to have you on, dude. I'm speechless. I didn't expect this to ever happen.
Well, brother, you know what? I appreciate you, taking one of my videos back in 2015 on Flat Earth, the one from Chicago, the Chicago skyline proves Flat Earth, and you put it on your channel, and I appreciate that. I'm not sure if you saw that or not. One of my live streams, I gave you a little shout out there.
Awesome.
Regarding that, and I appreciate that, brother.
Thank you very, very much. Yeah, and I got another super set. Sorry, PJ Cruikshank, £5. Thank you very much. He speaks the truth. Excellent guest. Excellent host. Thank you very much, and I 100% agree. Yeah, excellent guest.
Thanks, PJ. I appreciate that, PJ. One thing I want to say, I'm doing a lot of talking here, and I'll definitely, that's because I always do solo live stream. I'm just used to just going on forever. But I'll just say this, and I mentioned this before, as far as Flat Earth debates, no one does it better than Flatzoid. I mean, he's out there talking to guys like, I call him McToon, Fight the Flat Earth, and like, when you hear Fight the Flat Earth, he's like shaking like a leaf. You can hear him stumbling over his words. You can see he's not ready, that you're so prepared. And you literally tie him in knots, and he is on his, like in a fight, he's on his heels. He doesn't know what's hitting him. And he's stumbling, trying to find the right answer for things. And it's rarely happens, because most people that do debates with him, they need it like you do. You understand the life system better than everybody else in Flat Earth. You understand their position and how they basically make up things, and you try to disprove something they make up, and you go around in circles, but you catch them in that, and things they can't prove, and that's the major thing they do, where it goes around in circles with a lot of debates, because again, a lot of things they put out there, for example, it'd be better if I put an example. For example, they say the sun is 92 million miles away in deep space. It's fusing helium and hydrogen, and they say there's ways they can detect that. So that's where these kind of debates go in circles, because That's on the so-called science realm, quote, mainstream science, and they think they own science, and what they say is what we have to just take in. And you try to debate them on that, they'll just say, no, we have the answer, when, no, they don't. They don't, and the main things you have to tell them is, you guys don't own science, there's no way you can validate that or prove that in any way. And they'll argue that theories are facts and all this kind of nonsense, but getting back to you, brother, you just do, you're just quick-witted, you tie them up in knots, and I really appreciate your debates with them, because, again, brother, no one does it better when it comes to the debate form. And it's difficult. It's difficult because they have consensus and they have lies on their side that have been driven in the minds of so many people. So it's really an uphill battle, but you do the best when it comes to that.
Awesome, thank you. I'm glad you actually like my debates. I just want to quickly give a shout out again. Michael Kahn, £2. RV is ace. So are you, Flatzoid. God bless, brother. Thank you, Michael. Blessings to you too, man.
Thank you, Michael. Good brother. He's a fantastic supporter of my channel as well. So great to see Michael Kahn in here. And yeah, brother, great to see you in there.
Yeah, but like I said, with the debates, I don't know if you realized with Katz, you saw how triggered he was with me. He went totally against his actual character, how he usually debates people. And it was very telling to me when he had the after show, because I listened to the after show, and it was like, that was their whole, how can I put it, their game plan to go in so hot and overtalk me and be obfuscating and because, I don't know, I feel actually honored that he does that to me. It's like he sees me as a threat, that he literally had to use that as his argument, you can say, because he couldn't get anything out. So I actually think, I'm doing something that's why these guys want to come and debate me all the time. I got Mr. Sensible that's planning a debate with me next week, hopefully. So we'll see how that goes. But I'm actually enjoying it because I just let them talk. I try and lead them without them really realizing I'm leading them to say some stuff. So sometimes I have to kind of sound stupid to get them to say something.
Yeah. I'm sorry, brother. I call him Mr. Unsensible because there's no sense with the globe, so he's Mr. Unsensible. And it gets back to what I showed earlier with Wimpy Weiss. And if you see that, hopefully you can see that on the screen there.
Yeah, we can see it, yeah.
Yeah, and you know, we mentioned that he talked about Professor Dave. Imagine you, Flatzoid, being going against Professor Dave.
I would love that.
In an uncontrolled environment, and you would just pick him apart. You would completely destroy him, and that would be a huge win for Flat Earth and having it progress. But what's happening is, and this is what I've noticed over the years, within the Flat Earth community, they'll do somewhat of good work, majority of the time, within Flat Earth, within the community itself. But once they go on the mainstream, they're on Vice, they're on Beyond the Curve, they continuously fail. And I mentioned this, how Jared is in his experiment. Why, when he said, oh, that's interesting, I didn't expect that result. Why didn't he conduct that experiment prior to doing it, you know, for millions of people to view? Why did he make sure he had everything down pat and made sure he could present it properly and not just do for the first time for this whole camera crew? And then he goes back with his tail between his legs to Flat Earth and say, oh, I didn't mean it that way. Make every excuse in the book.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's why I always say this to people. If you know you're going on a major media network, this is your chance to break through. You're going to make sure your boards don't look like a dog's breakfast. You're not going to show you cutting it with a knife 5 minutes before the time. How are you going to get those holes? You're going to get your CNC machine boards. You're going to make sure it's been leveled. You make sure you went the previous night or whatever to test it out, make sure all your equipment is working perfect, everything. But the way they did it is literally like, oh, my homework's not done, I have to get it done now. So obviously they're going to have issues. It was really done poorly, and that to me is really dishonest actually. It shows that they want to make us look dumb and stupid, and they're just acting. As simple as that. That's why they get all these breakthroughs. I mean, I don't know if you guys actually realized, even though Flat Earth doesn't get promoted, Globebusters and things still get promoted everywhere. Why is it?
Yeah.
Why is it?
Well, that's funny you mentioned Globebusters because Bob, in his failed, his gyroscope experiment, again failing, just like quote Jared failed. We never see Bob with the actual gyroscope. All we see is Bob talking about this $15,000 gyroscope and how it's donated to the community, blah, blah, blah. But you never actually physically see him with it. You never see him do it with the actual experiment. And if you ask him, Bob, show the experiment, he gets angry. No. When it comes to truth, you should have no fear being questioned about truth and be willing to show the information. Only liars are afraid to show the information. So he has something to hide when he refuses to show the actual experiment, supposedly, that he took. So these are huge red flags. And also, during the that hit piece, Beyond the Curve, where he's outside talking to someone regarding the failed experiment, and he goes, oh, if this got out, it would be a lot of trouble. You can see him peering with his eyes, looking, making sure the camera's on him when he's speaking. On the corner of his eyes, he's like, he wants to make sure he's being filmed. So the reason we are so adamant about this, because we're trying to progress the flat earth truth. We can't with these gatekeepers at the pinnacle, at the apex of the quote movement. So these liars, these deceivers need to be removed, and the real truth be put out there.
Yeah, like I said, when someone comes into flat earth, the first thing they get pushed on is, okay, flat earth's a joke, and then globebusters. Then they get there, and what is the narrative that globebusters is pushing? The flat earth society model. It's the first thing they're pushing.
Exactly. Yeah, and not only that, it's like good cop versus bad cop. When you have, for example, you have Professor Dave, he goes against globebusters, he goes against David Weiss. Obviously, they had that ridiculous so-called debate, which obviously David Weiss, it's like a boxing match. He purposely took the fall, and he just goes back to flat earth like with his tail between his legs and every excuse. And that's embarrassing because there's over 2.3 million views on that right now. And that's completely a huge step back for flat earth, which we worked so hard to get it to progress, to move forward.
But that's exactly why you won't get the people like Simon and Dan and not a Professor Dave to actually come and debate me and stuff. They literally will just ignore me or just run away and say, oh, but I don't debate flat earthers. But then you see them debating not actual flat earthers, which is really odd.
Yeah, and I said this before, and for anybody that's new to your channel, this is really important because I've dealt with so many people in this quote truth community. I lay back and I look what's happening. I don't lay out all my cards. I look at all these individuals. I spoke with David Weiss back in 2015 after a live stream, and I was explaining, we're talking about after a podcast about flat earth. And I told him, I said, how ridiculous people believe how water, trillions of gallons of water can stick to the bottom of a ball, and it's absolutely ridiculous. And he goes, this is a private phone call, but I really don't care because this needs to be put out there. Where he says, well, you don't understand how gravity works and the massive amount of water, how it works. Then he goes, look, I gotta go. I'm like, what did you just say? You're supposed to flat earther, and you say that to me? Like you don't understand how gravity works? So that's 2015. You fast forward to 2019, he does an interview with CNN, and it's still up, by the way. Anybody can Google David Weiss CNN, where he states clearly, he says, at the very beginning of the article, he tells CNN during this interview, he goes, I don't want to be a flat earther. Who wants to wake up in the morning and have everybody know that I'm an idiot, and this kind of talk. So he's never said that to people within flat earth. He's only says that he's pandering to CNN. So when he's talking to flat earthers, he talks one way. When he goes and he talks to people like on the mainstream media, he's acting like, well, I don't really want to do this. I don't want to be called an idiot. So he's never tells other flat earthers, I don't want to be called an idiot. So it says a lot about him.
Yeah. I got thank you. Fetus Fish sent me a link where Bob Nadal says it's confidential. You want to watch that quickly?
Sure.
In a conference in Raleigh, we want to have proof there's no curvature. And if we can do that, it's game over. But the rotation is not looking good at this point.
David Weiss, again, with the connection, again, with Masonry, where they always put their signs and symbols everywhere.
Yeah, definitely. I loved how
I don't hear the audio.
Did you hear the audio?
No, I don't hear the audio.
It was on. It's playing through YouTube though.
Okay, it's playing through YouTube. That's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Okay. But all that Bob Nodell, it's the footage from behind the scene movie, you know, at the end when they're having the braai, the barbecue or whatever, and he says, yeah, it's not looking. We're trying to disprove the curve, but it's not looking good for the rotation at the moment.
Yeah.
We don't want.
Yeah, and definitely, there's too much at stake to have people that are organic.
Yeah.
You don't know what they're going to say during this documentary, so they definitely have to control both sides of the debate. It's like a coin. The same people, the printers, the minters, they print the head, they print the tail. So that's the same concept with what's being presented. It's too much at stake to like have someone like you or myself go on there uncontrolled and do a really good job at proving flat Earth and making the globe look ridiculous. So this is very obvious to us.
Yeah, for sure.
Want to blow this, you know?
Right.
And they've got $20,000 in this freaking gyro. But yeah, if we dumped what we found right now, we would be.
So on my side, I only see part of the clip. It's halfway. It's paused, or is it still?
Yeah, I pause it whenever you talk. Then I just pause it.
Okay, I'll let you go.
Yeah, because you know we don't want any copyright strikes. The people love reporting my videos for some odd reason. Recently, I think you've had the same issue with what those brothers with Do Perfect, where they went to space. I actually had to trim. I had to literally trim everything out of there just so it can be unblocked, unbanned.
The only way you can do it is you play only 6 to 8 second clips.
That's what I did. I play it. I even muted some of it, and I talked. It's me commentary, and they still managed to do copyright claim on it.
Yeah, you know, the way I do it is this. When I play the segments, I make sure there's a good gap between each
segment. Yeah.
What happens is they like connect the gap, so it's got to be a pretty distant gap between each frame as you go along.
Yeah.
And here's something I want to mention. There's always trolls, inside these kind of chat boxes, and they're purposely put there because they want to really want to hijack truth, and they don't want the real truth being put out there. So over my experiences, wherever I'm talking, whatever like live stream I'm on, or I'm a guest on someone else's platform, always those trolls are present, really trying to persuade people not to listen. Well, I've had a lot of issues over the years, of course, and a lot of these people, they remain on YouTube without issue, without hindrance, and I go down constantly, and so yeah, people need to think long and hard. But here's the big thing is, if they could just only put a question mark over your head, oh, is this guy a shill? Is this guy working for the other side? You don't even have to believe that. But once you put that seed in the mind, this person cannot be trusted, question that person, and then it's like, now it's a land of confusion. Let people come to their own conclusions based on what people say, what they can prove. Don't like the individual, like what they put out, what they present. That's more important, of course.
Yeah. No. I do 100% agree.
Be bad. It would be bad. So what I just told you is confidential.
So here's that segment with Bob.
Yeah, well,
when
I
he
just
peers
told
over to the camera.
confidential. Yeah, this is what he says. What I told you is confidential. But look how he looked over his shoulder and looked to make sure they see.
Look for the camera right here. Yeah, he's looking for the camera right there.
I'm gonna do it again there.
He's like, yeah.
Yeah, you can see he literally looks there.
Yeah, he's looking for the camera. It's like 1, 2, 3, action, and making sure. And here's the thing is, Flatzoid, I'll tell you this right now. People get pissed off with me. Well, I'll tell you this: it's better to be pissed off than pissed on.
Yeah, there we go.
I'll put it that way because. Yeah, go ahead.
That's how he smile. You can see smiling at the camera. Check there.
Yeah.
There we go. Literally looking at the camera, smiling. And I think you also know when it comes to audio production and stuff, it's difficult to get such clear sound if they're not all mic'd up.
Yeah. You say, oh, how this would hurt Flat Earth. It's they're sabotaging. It's like every time Flat Earth has a gain, then it takes a step back. Then it gains and it takes a step back. You know, and it's we see what's happening, and they continue to control the movement.
Yeah, exactly. But like I was saying, when you take it from a media aspect, when you do a production, and you know, if like they're having a barbecue and stuff, how do you get their sound so crisp? They literally have to mic everybody up with the lapel mics. That's how they got them mic'd up.
Yeah, the mics are clear giveaway. And here's the thing is, it's funny because I cover a lot of media fakery, a lot of media events, and they do the same thing where people are fully mic'd up and these kind of things. And people in the truth community go, yeah, you're right. But if it's within the flat Earth community, oh, no, it doesn't mean anything. You have to be consistent. And that's the major problem, of course.
Yeah, exactly, Rachel. We're trying to figure out where did he pick this 15-degree outdrift up, because they don't show any footage of the gyro making that claim. It's literally just him saying it. That's the whole issue. Where
they show a cartoon. Yeah, they show a cartoon animation of the 15-degree supposed movement. You know, and the damage has been done. See, the thing is this. I really have to emphasize this. When you say it to millions upon millions of people in the documentary, it doesn't matter what you say after the fact to the flat Earth community, because it's already been, you already did damage. The damage has been done. You dropped the vase. Now you can't glue that vase, but you can try to glue the vase back together, but it's never going to be like it was if you already damaged it. And it's already done its damage. And that's just like David Weiss with Professor Dave, just like Jaron, just like Bob. They all make these ridiculous blunders purposely, and it sets us all back.
It's all scripted. It's all it is.
Yeah. It's a movie. It's not. It's like this. This is real as a reality show, and we know reality shows are scripted. There's no difference with this. Nothing said here is organic. Everything here is so obviously staged. Everything, on both sides.
No, 100%. No, but I mean, if this doesn't make it so obvious to the people, then I don't know what's going to open their eyes. But that's why I'm happy to have you on. I mean, we have to do something about this, because they're just going to be pushing this further and further until, I don't know, until it gets to a point that people are just going to end up saying, oh, this is nonsense, we're not going to do this. This is what they're pushing to.
If I can share the thing about David Weiss, I also want to talk about Kent Hovind and family as well, where they're controlling not only the mainstream, the politicians, Hollywood, music, they're controlling the churches and the truthers. So I definitely, if I can, screen share my photo
let's go back to you again. There we on your screen share.
All right. Is it showing already?
It's showing the guy in a green shirt.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, it's showing you. Yeah, it's showing you.
Yeah. It's all going to connect with the guy in the green shirt. It's going to get back to him. Well, I show this to people on my channel. So this photo with David Weiss and the ladder symbolism is, of course, huge in Freemasonry. And David Weiss's excuse for staying on a ladder is because he's tired. So I guess Flatzoid, next time I'm tired, I'm gonna go hunt for a ladder. I'm not gonna look for a chair. I'm not gonna look for a couch. I'm gonna look for a ladder to climb and walk and stand backwards on to rest, which makes no sense. And you have Rick Hummer, who was part of Hollywood, which you see here. He was a presenter with Robbie Davidson's Flat Earth International meetup, the convention. And he worked with Shaka Khan in Hollywood. He knew Will Smith, he knew George Clooney, he knew all these people. So and they're both holding that Corona bottle. And Corona and Gematria is 33. So you were dual 33s here. And what I'm getting at is this, the huge aspect with the ladder symbolism. You know, when it comes to Freemasonry, ascending, and you see them all standing backwards. All three of them are backwards on the ladder.
Exactly like he is.
So this is, exactly. So go ahead, you want to jump in there, Flatzoid?
I just want to say, LV Paul, thank you very much. He says RV doesn't use his Odyssey anymore. It's a shame because there's 775 followers. They've actually said I'm gonna start using Odyssey now as well, as a backup. You must
well, that Odyssey's not even my channel. Someone else started. There's a lot of people making channels on my behalf that people take my name and they just put stuff up there. That's not my channel, but it's my videos.
Yeah, it's sad that they do that, but at least we get the truth out there, so.
Yes, I appreciate that. No, here's the thing is, I tell people that are in good terms with me, you're free to put up my videos, But if you make a channel with my name, make sure to tell people it's not really me.
Yeah.
So people don't think they're talking to me when, you know, that's a major problem. So getting back to these images here, I'm going to be more concise with this. And this is a video I made, I don't know, maybe 6-7 years ago. So this is an important key. You don't have, this is, you know, Kent Hovind family here. This is Kent Hovind right here with the orange type shirt, the fake globe, and the fake dinosaurs. You know, so he's a Mason.
Wow.
You know, he's definitely a Mason, only giving you half truths. So that gets into his, I believe this is his nephew, Chad. Now listen to the coding. So this is what I'm getting at before I'll play the video. So again, they're controlling the whole apparatus. Again, politicians, the media, Hollywood, the music industry, cartoons such as Simpsons. So they put the truth in music, movies, cartoons, TV shows, every type of form of entertainment, which is Masonically controlled. Then the lies, and also Masonically controlled school textbooks and the media. So the duality aspect, that's where they're gonna, everything's flip-flop. So listen to what is said here. So this is what I'm getting at. They're controlling the churches. The churches don't reveal the truth about that one event on 9/11. I'll be careful with that. They don't reveal the truth of flat Earth, the majority of them, of course. Every event that happens that we know is bogus, they say pray for them. So they're, you know, so this is so important so people understand. They're controlling the whole matrix, and you can just see through signs and symbols right here. You can see with the signs and symbols who these people work for. They're not going to tell you with their mouth that they're Masons. But again,
It's all,
and everybody,
it's all the signs and symbols that they do in your face. Exactly.
absolutely. You know, even like, again, the music, look at all these televangelists here. I know it's a little bit blurry, but you see like Billy Graham. You see all these names, you see the Pope, they're all doing the Masonic hand sign. So it's like the role they're playing where people think, oh, these are men of God. You know, these people are on our side. No, they're controlling the whole spectrum. So people think I'm crazy when I say this, but they don't, because they don't know, because they're brainwashed, you know, and they don't understand. So here's the thing is, trying to explain to any of the followers of these televangelists, look, they're only giving you partial truth. They're going to ignore what I say because they're already hooked. They've already been pulled into their trap, and they already have their core beliefs stuck on these people. Just like people, they have, a lot of people in Flat Earth have, they've been pulled in by people like Jaron, David Wise, Eric Dubay, who give some truth, but not the real truth. Here's the thing is I want to mention real quick. I covered the supposed, the event with the Blue Origin, when you had the supposed launch with that one Dude Perfect.
Yep.
And the whole panel saying they actually went to space. They actually went up there. And it's absolutely ridiculous for them to say that. And I actually should show the footage.
Yeah, you
talking
should.
About it.
Definitely. Because one thing that really stood out to me was like, no, this isn't real. It's like, no shit, Sherlock. Of course it's not real.
Yeah, it's really unbelievable. But yeah, I mean, maybe if we can, you want to show that?
Yeah,
Let's
you
do
can.
this. Let me finish up with this presentation part.
And we can go to that,
with
yeah.
Masonic, the Masonic televangelist, because it's key to put this all together. Then we can play portions of my video, because again, Jaron, bought from Globusters, Wits Gets It. They all say that they actually went into space. What would they risk putting these individuals in space when they can just easily fake it? You know, and obviously these rockets, you know, they don't go anywhere. They just come back crashing down. It's just a production. It's a Hollywood production. But they really believe, and they're pushing like, oh, we can see when they go up, and we can see the flat horizon. I'm like, do you guys understand? This is all from start to finish. It's just, you know, CGI. They're not really in there. But we'll get to that later. Let me finish up with this flatzoid, and this is really pertinent, so people understand again how they're controlling all aspects of the matrix. Just take a listen. It's an old video of mine, again, and just take a listen to what is said here with Chad Hovind.
It's a bit soft though. Might have to put it louder. Yeah, we can't hear him. It's very soft.
Yeah, did you hear what he said though? He said we made $33. Did you hear that?
No, I didn't. It's very soft.
Okay, let me try to up the volume here a little bit. Let me see what I can do. Hold on 1 second.
Okay.
Let me take it off here. I'm gonna raise the volume.
Okay, while you're doing that, I just have to say, I see that next picture there with a staircase tower. That's like the one that brought me into looking at the Masons when I was much younger.
Yeah.
I remember that image. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me try to play the audio again, and you can hear. Hopefully, you can hear what he says here. You play this again, and it's just one little aspect I want to play the audio here. The rest I can just talk over.
Okay.
But what I'm getting at is he's mentioning the number $33. Just take a quick listen.
Put together and do balloons, or I would do my magic rings. My daughter would be making.
No, it broke up.
Yeah, and he said basically I'll just talk over it because we're having issues with the audio.
Okay.
But basically, he's talking about how himself and his daughter were making balloons and selling them, and he said he looked at his tip bucket and he made $33. So that gets into what I want to show here as we move. That gets back to the ladder symbolism. Now look what he does here. Okay. So I'm going to speed this up here a little bit. Just take a look here. So he climbs the ladder backwards.
Oh, wow.
Like Weiss. And again, it's all about masonry. And they're going to show you, like I said, the whole video, they're going to show you through signs and symbols that they're Masons. And people that don't study masonry, all this will mean nothing to them.
Yeah,
it's going to be meaningless. So when I show the ladder with David Weiss, people are like, oh, that's crazy, that's ridiculous. But I'm making a lot of connections here when it comes to the ladder symbolism in masonry. He's doing the 666 hand sign. And the ladder is very prevalent, and specifically being backwards on the ladder, like I showed earlier with that one scene.
And I realize it's never a small ladder, it's always a long ladder.
Let me move around here. But that's the main point I want to really get across. And of course, like I said, he's related to Ken Hovind with the orange type shirt and pushing the globe and dinosaurs. It's ridiculous. So it's very important for people to understand that this is not just a random photo with being on the backwards, being on a ladder backwards. But, doing these reverse.
But doesn't it sort of look like David Weiss?
It's really important for people to understand these concepts.
But
and I get it. When it's first presented, it's like, oh, it doesn't mean anything. But if you look at all the connections and you see it being prevalent with masonry, and we know there's controlled opposition on every platform with every topic, and you see how they're putting it out there, and yeah, it's very obvious, plain to see.
I was going to find that photo with David Weiss though. Did someone send it to you, or?
It's funny that picture of David Weiss. I have my RV Truth on Facebook, and I was looking at a page. I think it was 2020. Yeah, it was 2020 because they're holding the coronavirus, and it was some kind of meetup in Texas. And I was going through the album of all the pictures, and I ran across that picture and I saved it right away. And now the picture, I cannot find it anywhere. And even after I exposed this, David Weiss texts me. He goes, "Where did you get that photo?" I never responded back to him where I got it. I just say I have it. That's it. I just have it. I didn't tell him where anything. So that was at. It was supposedly the location. Let me get back to it here. The location of this. Let me blow it up again. That's not the right one. The location of this is in Texas. And a guy named Chris. I think his name is Chris Pania, and he makes like flat Earth models, and he sells them for a living. Goes to flat Earth conferences. So supposedly they're at his place. And hear this: and David Weiss's excuse for the ladder. First, he said he was tired. He needed a rest. Then he said on a live stream to me, and with Jared and Alex Stein there, everybody, the reason ladder's there it was because they want to go on top of the roof to take a look at the solar panels. And he's wearing flip-flops.
I like how he's standing on that first step as well, off the ground.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just yeah, so like I said, it's just, obvious to me when people understand the signs and symbols aspect. And definitely, let me see if I can do this now here.
Yeah, because it almost looks photoshopped as well, the way he's standing there.
Well, to tell you the truth, I'll have to send it to you. Let me see if I can do this. I'm going to send the photo in the Skype. And let me send you so you have a direct copy of it so you can analyze it yourself.
Yeah, we'll definitely check it out.
Yeah, you can break it down.
Because it does kind of play with the eyes though, but like I said, it could be because he's standing on the step, you're not sure. But the shadow, yeah, I don't know. It's weird. Can't really see his shadow.
Yeah, I just sent you. So Flatzoid, I just sent you, if you can take a look at Skype and you can blow it up and get a really good look at that in Skype. It's going to be blown up really nice for you.
Yeah, you can see he's standing on the...
I don't want to go overboard, but like I said, the Corona is 33. Slippers is 33 as well.
Oh yeah.
It's just funny how that works.
Yeah.
It's funny how that works.
The slongdongs, so what do they call it?
They call them slippers.
Yeah.
Or they call them flip-flops.
Flip-flops, yeah. Yeah, in South Africa call them flip-flops.
Yeah, and like I said, they have the two Coronas. Corona's 33 with the crown, and all these things with symbolism. It just looks like this pose is like well thought out. It wasn't just like spur of the moment type of thing. And Rick Hummer's 33. So there's a lot of interesting things here with these individuals. That here's the thing is, Rick Hummer, like I said, never made a single flat Earth video, not a single flat Earth presentation. But he's heading the Flat Earth Conference as the host of it.
Huh.
So how does he get in that position?
Yeah, how does he get that right?
So let me check something else here. I want to see here something else as well. I want to see if I have another photo here. I have to go through my photo. I don't have here. Anyways, you want to show? I can't find the other photo I want to send you, but I definitely want to screen share.
Yeah, go ahead.
Portions of video, maybe we can do that.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, if you want to do the Dude Perfect 100% with me.
Let's do that. Yeah.
I really like the way you broke it down in your video.
Thanks, brother. We can play the entire thing or play whatever you want to play.
That's up to you. You just lead the way. That's it. I'm enjoying actually listening to you talking and everything. I think the people in chat are also enjoying that. If you want, we can actually do a Q&A sometime if you for these guys. Then they can give you questions.
Absolutely, I'm all for it. Yeah, I'm all for that, brother. All right, let me know when you're ready, and I'll play the video. And hopefully, stop me anytime if the audio's not coming in very well.
Okay.
And hopefully it comes good. Let me see here. Let me get back to Skype, and let me get back to the screen share. Stop sharing. Let me stop sharing. Let me go to the other share. Okay, let me get to...
Yeah, while you're looking for that, I just want to say shout out to everybody in chat. Thank you all for being here again. Really do appreciate you guys. Yeah, I'm enjoying this very great. So, yeah, and thank you everybody for that sent your super chats. If you haven't already, just hit that like button, share, so we can get it to everybody necessary to hear this information. Out of 168 votes, the Masons run this world. 20% say yes, no 80%.
Listen, I want to hear what, and again, I asked this earlier. I really want people to put in the chat who they think are in the world. The small hats, Jesuits part of Masonry. If people believe it's not the Masons, then who is it? And put it out there,
Yeah, I agree.
Put in the chat. If you don't think it's the Masons, then who do you believe running it? The Vatican? London? Who's running it if you don't think it's the Masons?
Yeah, you guys can put, you can even put SpongeBob if you really want to. Any answer is better than no answer.
Well, here's the thing is, here's the thing: is I'll say it's run by a committee, but the Masonic influence, the Masonic imagery is everywhere. And if it's not the Masons, why would they put that out there? Someone say, oh, it's just maybe just a distraction. Well, that doesn't really jive with me, because Masonry's been around for so long, and obviously the biblical times, the Tower of Babel, you know, it's everywhere. You know, like you just look at like MTV, Masonic TV, when they're in the Toronto studio and they have the bricks in the back with the square and the compass. So you're going to tell me they're going to put that up there, but it's only to distract people from the real entity. I'm not buying it. I believe they're putting everything in plain sight. They're not just doing it just to, you know, trick people. I think they're like, look, we're running things. We're not going to say it with the words, but we're the ones running things. And we see these people in high stature giving each other Masonic handshakes, you know, in every level, politicians, in sports, in every facet.
No, definitely.
All right, let me get to the screen share aspect here.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, let me make sure that's presented before I go any further.
That's very true, Vaynant. Where do all the missing children go every year?
Yeah, that's
just a one topic. That's yeah.
Well, we know what it comes down to. We have to be careful on this topic, but we know what they talk about, making sacrifices, these type of things. So, yeah, I mean, really, these people. It's like this. In Christianity, you do good to get good, you know, and in the opposite spectrum, you do bad to get something in return. It's like you have to make a sacrifice. You have to give to get. It's nothing just handed to you. On the other side of the spectrum as well, like obviously, you know, Northern California, the Bohemian Grove, and see gatekeepers like Alex Jones will say, oh, they're doing mock human sacrifices. Mock. I don't think so. I think there's really something going on, you know, with these people.
Yeah.
That's how I see it. All right, let me know when it's ready to play.
Yeah, it's
I'll
showing
get that playing.
Yeah, it's showing you YouTube.
All right, I'll get that playing right away then.
Cool.
All right, let's play. I'm gonna be concise with this. I'm gonna play the real, I think, important parts, and then I skipped ahead a bit, so let's get right to it.
Okay.
And anytime if you don't hear me, it doesn't come in good, just stop me and I'll replay it. I'll adjust the audio.
Awesome. Yeah, you might have to overtalk it. Can't hear you sound at all.
I'm sorry, say that again?
I can't hear you sound at all. You might have to actually do commentary as it's going on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not giving sound.
Okay, so I'll do it myself. Okay, let's play the clip here. Let's go to the beginning here again. And I'll just say this, and I'll just skip around here, okay? So this is probably the better way to do it. So when it comes down to it, this individual, Dude Perfect, his name is Cody Cotton, the CC for 33. This guy has nearly 58 million subscribers. I looked at his channel, it's absolutely garbage. And it's a comedy channel. It's, you know, nothing regarding, it's just a bunch of jokesters. And they're gonna send this guy in space. One thing I have to emphasize, over the years we hear about space travel, supposed space travel it's very vigorous. It takes a tremendous amount of time. And it's not for everybody because people get motions, this kind of sickness, whatever. And so it takes a tremendous amount of training. And now it's like everybody's kind of just doing it, you know, like no big deal. But what I'm getting at is 58 million subscribers, so-called influencer. These people obviously have this group here, Dude Perfect, has a tremendous following. So the Masons, the people that run this world, they're going to pull people like this in. When you have a tremendous amount of influence on a lot of people, you're going to be called into the brotherhood. And definitely that's what's happening here. Just like Logan Paul, the same thing, which I show here. And let me skip over to that. And I show, well, here's Logan Paul's channel. This is the hit piece on Flat Earth, which obviously was a complete embarrassment. Logan Paul presenting himself as interested in being a flat earther, and he just mocked Flat Earth. And you just saw it there with Wimpy Weiss. So David Weiss is asked here, after saying, we can't see, like, for example, the edge of space. And then what you have here is Logan Paul responding, well, I can't see my intestines. that doesn't mean it doesn't exist. And David Weiss has no response. Like he got schooled by this YouTube star on Flat Earth, and it made Flat Earth look silly. And of course, all the cameras around, this is staged to make Flat Earth look dumb, and that's all they're doing. So again, Logan Paul, almost 24 million subscribers. He's pulled into the Brotherhood, just like anybody that has any type of influence in sports, any kind of field in society. If you have a tremendous amount of following, you have an influence over millions of people, you're going to be called in and, hey, you want to be part of our club, and that's basically what happens.
Yeah, it's like to the next, they take it because it's like the next level for them. So they most of the time they kind of, quote unquote, almost sell their soul to the devil, you could say.
Well, it's like this. I always make this analogy where there's a lot of people that want to be like, say, a musician, like a rock star, and like they'll do anything to get there. And so if the obstacle is, look, you have to do what you're told, we'll make you famous, but you got to do this, this, and this. Well, their ultimate goal is to be famous. So like they're like, yeah, I'll do it. You know, they're not going to have a problem because what do they want to do? Go back to, you know, manual labor, you know, being, you know, working in a retail store. Nothing against these jobs, but they don't want to do it. They want to be on TV and have, you know, all the money and the fame. So to these people that are desperate to be rich and famous, they're gonna sell out, and that's the reality. What's happening? Just like Alex Stein, you know, every opportunity to be on TV for any reason, they'll be there.
Yeah.
And that's what they do.
One question quickly. Soul Read
Sure.
Analysis asked, ask RV if any press is good press, please.
It might sound that way in the beginning. I'm going to be very brutally honest. In 2015, when I said, you know, Flat Earth is going to go mainstream, you're going to see celebrities talking about it because it's going to be, because I said that one event in New York was getting stale as a debate. It was going on for a tremendous amount of time, back and forth, it was getting stale. So they wanted to create this new debate. So I'm going to get to the question, but when it comes down to it, initially it's exciting when you get people like, say, Mark Sargent or Shaquille O'Neal, Tila Tequila, Kyrie Irving talking about Flat Earth on TV. But remember, you know, Shaquille O'Neal specifically lately, but remember, they're controlling both sides of each debate. It is good that it gets mentioned, but when it does get mentioned, we have to remind people, look, these people are not on our side. They're instructed to do this. Everything that's being portrayed on TV is by design, on purpose. It's not like they're doing this organically. So, yeah, they want the divide out there. But if we don't progress, we're just spinning wheels, then it's really not a good thing. It's not a good thing if you have controlled opposition pushing garbage, making Flat Earth look bad. So that's kind of how I look at it, where, you know, bad press is good press. Here's the thing, if they go find people like you or me or any other guys like Flat Earth Banjo or anybody that's doing real Flat Earth, good Flat Earth work, but the problem is this, as we know, they hear about Flat Earth on TV, then they Google it, and they come across all the disinfo sites, Flat Earth Society, the Flat Earth shills pushing garbage, pushing nonsense, and these people get, you know, they lose interest fast, and then they say, oh, it's nonsense, and then go back to being globers. So it's a really uphill battle, but, you know, we're trying to do our best to get the real truth out there, and it's very hard when the true speakers don't get the views, they get shadow banned. But yeah, I mean, to be more concise, it all depends. If the bad press gets out there and they find Flatzoid, obviously it's a good thing. If bad press brings them to people like Jerry and David Weiss, it's not a good thing. So, you know, it just depends on where it leads them. That's basically what it comes down to.
Yeah, I agree.
But definitely, you know, you being shadow banned, you deserve, you know, over 100,000 subscribers for the work you do, brother. I mean, it's top notch. And like I said, people joining in late. As far as debates, I haven't seen anybody do better debates with people like McToon and Fight the Flat Earth. I mean, literally, like I said earlier, you know, Fight the Flat Earth, he's like shaking in his boots. He's like, you could tell just by his tone of voice, he's not ready. He's not prepared for someone that's so well versed like you are and so quick with everything, and you turn the page on him, you're asking questions that he's just like going around in circles. Like when you ask him what is gravity, and he's stumbling upon trying to respond to it, and you ask him what is force, and he's like, wow, he's not ready for that. And that's that to me was fantastic work, brother.
Yeah, but you see, the thing is, I think they're used to debating people that aren't. I don't know. They think I don't know. It's like they think I've just walked into this today. I think that's the thing. I don't know. It's.
Well, you definitely have. You've been around.
I've been, even before YouTube, I was around on Facebook and stuff. Obviously, I'm not on Facebook anymore because I had some issues there, and I'm not allowed on Twitter anymore. But at least I'm on YouTube.
Well, I'll just say this: for someone that's been in Flat Earth myself since 2015, obviously your channel's been up there with Flat Earth content. And like you said, even before that, you're putting it on a Facebook, Flat Earth stuff on Facebook.
Yeah.
Before that.
Yeah.
So how far do you go back? How far do you go back? With
I was about 2016, 2017, around there.
Wait a second. You have to go back further because the video that you re-uploaded of mine was November 2015.
Yeah, but I'm saying when I was getting serious about it.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
When you started making your own videos, gotcha. You were just mirroring stuff.
Yeah,
right?
I had a page and going into the conversations and doing all that stuff. But when I started getting serious was about 2016, 2017 around.
Okay, I got you, brother. I got you. Yeah, I understand now.
And now my YouTube actually started, I think it was like 2019. So I only did YouTube much later.
Got it. Okay, I thought you put out content a little bit sooner than that. So, but your channel was there with Flat Earth content. That's what I'm getting. So no worries on that. So any other questions before I play the video?
Yeah, why do they have to make it look like a big dildo?
Well, because that's why they're called the Illuminati. Mm-hmm. They're illuminated and they're naughty.
That's a good way. Yeah.
They're extremely intelligent, but they're extremely perverted. It's like if I can show some images of William Shatner, who's also part of this, and let me see if I can find that real quickly.
Yeah, I mean even the feather on the side there, it's got meaning to it.
Let me see here if I can find something here. Let me see here.
William Shatner. Hey.
What's up?
William Shatner, I don't know if you've seen my one stream where he was interviewing Neil deGrasse Tyson, and they were talking about space. And William Shatner says straight out to William Tyson, so space isn't real.
Oh, yeah. That's what I'm getting at.
That's
there.
like a truth in plain sight.
They always do that. But you see this here, what I'm showing you here, from Star Trek?
Yeah.
You guys see that, right? Mm-hmm. So right here, he's holding the phallus, and this is you see the duality outfit with Freemasonry. Mm-hmm. And Gene Roddenberry was, of course, the creator of Star Trek, and he was a Freemason, a third degree Freemason. So you see the phallus, the penis-shaped rock with the alien in the background. So you have multiple things. You're pushing the alien agenda, deep space. You have the Illuminati, the naughty aspect, and that gets back to what was mentioned with the tip of the penis, if you want to say, the phallus, And it's there. Let me see if I can find something else here. Let me see here. 1 second. So this is, before playing the video, I think this is really important to put out there. Let me see here. So you guys see this, right?
Oh, yeah, I remember this with 3CPO.
Yeah, so C3PO, this is a legitimate card that was released in 1977 in the pack, and they have this gold-plated dildo attached. And the thing is this, they're going to say, oh, someone part of the production put it out there as a joke. No, that's what they tell us. That's what they're going to tell people. But again, they're controlling all of this, and this is the Illuminati at work. We know about the also sex on the planet, so-called planet. Let me see here. if I take this off here, let me see here.
There's no way that would get approved by an ordinary company. It's no way.
Yeah, it cannot pass control. What do you call it here?
I mean, I did graphic design for 10 years for major media companies. Everything gets checked right through every stage until production. There's no ways that would ever get, quote unquote, as a joke through. They would never let it get produced.
Yeah, let me see here. Let me see here. Upside down. Before we play the video, so again, how they like to, if I can find it. Let me see here.
You might be surprised. Maybe they changed it, or because I mean, I see a lot of the times when you look for something after you've looked for it, if you've presented something, they usually change it, or they remove it totally.
Yeah, they've been taking a lot of things off the Google search that can't be found anymore, and yeah, I'm having trouble finding it. But this might be it. Where I'm looking for it. It might be not upside down, but it might be in these clouds.
Six in the clouds.
Yeah, but what I'm getting at is, people have seen it in my video presentations where, if you flip the fake phony globe over, it says SEX in the clouds.
Yeah.
That's spelled out. So I understand if one S was here and E was here, but it's all lined up perfectly.
It spells it perfect. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm really getting at. But, so like I said, getting back to the question, with the Illuminati, again, they're illuminating, they're naughty. It also comes from, obviously, from like in Italy, illuminated, the light, but there's the duality aspect. And that's what I try to emphasize with a lot of people in truth. When it comes to signs and symbols, there's never one meaning for things. Like with the Masonic square and compass, with the G. Yeah. Some people say the great architect. Some people say it's Gnosticism. Some people say God. There's multiple meanings, and people try to narrow it down to one, and that's a fatal error, because don't forget, their so-called God of this world goes by many names. Mm-hmm. Nimrod, Nimrod, Baal. We know the list of names for the same God. So if we try to narrow it down, that creates infighting and confusion when we know they work off the duality aspect of things. So I really want to emphasize that, where we shouldn't be arguing about the single meaning, the singular meaning for a single sign or symbol, because there's multiple. There's really multiple meanings. Also, this is off topic. I want to mention it too, how they pervert things. With famous Freemason Albert Mackey, who states the divine human, the divine being, is a mixture of male and female into one. Mm-hmm. That's a divine creature. So that's why you see in Hollywood, or more importantly, the music industry, guys like Michael Jackson, David Bowie, George Michael, Boy George, all these people, Elton John, they have the duality aspect of male and female features. Even when it comes to the females, like Annie Lennox, where she has very short hair, wearing a man's suit. They always want to push that androgynous angle at us at a very, very early age. The rock singers all have the long hair. They have the eyeliner, and they have the lipstick. So androgyny is constantly being pushed at us, and that's obviously Baphomet, the Masonic go-god, who is obviously has a duality aspect as well.
Yeah. No, yeah, definitely. That's why when you get in like Indian culture and stuff in the past, where you get children that are born as hermaphrodites or whatever, they get seen as gods.
Yes, that's very, very true. And that's the thing about, I made actually a video about Freemasonry in India. And that's why, going back in time, of course, the British Empire, which, obviously spread everywhere, South Africa, like where you're located, Australia, Queensland, New South Wales, United States, British Columbia, you have the country of Colombia in South America. All these are basically satellites. They're like just further expansions of England. And what I'm getting at is specifically, you see the getting back to India, we know about the British rule in India for the longest time, and so much Masonic influence in society. So they're definitely pushing that. And again, the androgyny, with the Indians believing hermaphrodite is the supreme, being type of thing, and that's directly comes from Albert Mackey. Once again, you'll see that. No, actually, I have that as well here. Let me just show this really quickly before I have the video up there, but I want to show this really quickly because I have it in my thing. Let me get back to Skype and stop sharing, and I'll share something else here.
Yeah, you see, I picked up that image which said SEX on the globe.
Oh, you found it?
Yeah.
Okay, you found it. Great. Let me look. Yes, thank you for finding that. I don't know how you got it so quickly, but yeah. So they always have the gray area, like oh, it's like it looks like it, but no, this is obviously by design. And what I call is the sex planet.
Yeah.
It's the sex planet. That's kind of how it works with that. But yeah, let me share something here as well. Going back, we're talking about androgyny, and that's definitely what I want to talk about. The Masonic influence here. Let's see here. Actually, let me see something here I wanted to look at here too. Let me see here.
Yeah, Racer XYS, exactly. RV has some great points. Definitely.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm looking up here really quickly, then I'll get to the, let me see here. I'm trying to find the, let me see here. Real quick, I'll get back on topic.
Okay.
I'm just looking for one image, then we'll continue. I'll just talk about it because people will know what I mean when they see it. So, are we at my screen share yet or no?
No, it's just showing you have to screen share again, I think.
Okay, let me do that. Let me know when you see it there.
Okay,
right?
it's showing, yeah, with the woman.
Okay. Yeah, I'll talk about this. I'm going to talk about this in a second, but I want to mention this. Another thing I want to talk about. So in society, all the fads like Ice Bucket Challenge, the Tide Pool Challenge, they always have a backstory to them. The ice bucket's almost like being baptized when you dump that water over someone's head. And if someone's a zombie and they're a sheep when they're participating in these type of fads in society, like Tide Pod is 33, where people would eat these detergent pellets.
Oh, yeah, I remember that, yeah.
So, but Tide Pod is 33. So there's always that, the mannequin challenge. Mannequin is 33, so they're always having these little hidden Masonic symbolism and codes hidden in plain sight. And what I'm getting at is here, you see the stairway ascending up. I don't have the image, but maybe you could find that Flatzoid, where there was this one fad that was from last year, where people stacked milk cartons, and it looked exactly like this, where they stacked it, and the challenge was, and it's exactly like the stairway here, where you stacked it, and the goal was to get to the top without the milk cartons falling over. But let me see if I can find that.
Milk carton challenge. I'm going to try and see if I can find it.
Milk carton challenge.
I think there it is. There we go. There it's stacked like a triangle.
Yeah, let me see here. Let me take a look at your screen share there. Let me go back to YouTube side. Yeah, I see my side. My side's delayed a little bit. Let me move it up a little bit here, and hopefully I'll see that, because my side. Yeah, there you go. So it's the same thing, and they're always going to say, "Oh, it came from this city, from these individuals," but there's a Masonic influence, and they show this in the media. They show this all over the place, and people don't see how it correlates with the Masonic stairway on both ends. So the Masonic influence is everywhere.
Definitely.
They're creating. Yeah. So thanks for sharing that, brother.
But that's what I said. People are very desensitized today. They don't see the influences from the Masonic. How can I put it?
Well, it's like this too. And this is something nobody else talks about, but I'll just throw it in there. And people are going to get it when I say this. I talk about the bell.
Yeah.
The importance of bell, like Taco Bell, the Liberty Bell. You have Art Bell, the so-called truth speaker from coast to coast, CC for 33. So the bell in ancient Babylon means Lord. So when you have in style, in trends, you have the bell bottoms. They're implementing things that people have no idea. So if you went outside, or I went outside today wearing bell bottoms, people look at us very funny. But if celebrities started wearing bell bottoms, all of them, or majority of them, it's going to have a trigger in the minds of the brain dead sheep. They're going to see as something that looks very stupid as very cool and very hip, because these are the ones that control the media, control the minds. So if they're so-called stars, that's another thing, are making it very fashionable. Now, in their own eyes, it looks very cool. But right now, it's not in style, it's not popular. So if you walked around with the bell bottoms, but again, it's the bell. They love the bell in there. Like I said, you go to Taco Bell, and I show this in videos. People laugh. Oh, these RVs mentioning Taco Bell. What a joke. If I have video of people going through the drive-thrus at Taco Bell, the lampshades have the square and compass on the lampshades. You have the, if you look at the Taco Bell logo, it has the, let me just put it in there. Maybe we could, instead of me talking about it, I can show it.
Quickly. Yeah, and then I also got a very cool thing that I remember Michael Kahn sent me a link as well. When you're done here, I want to show you something quickly.
Yeah, and I'll just show this. Are we sharing my?
We're sharing your screen, but it's not
okay,
showing.
Okay, perfect. So to make sure before I go forward. So you have, it's Taco Bell. The bell's the Lord. So you have the eye inside, the all-seeing eye. That's an eye in there. But you have the 6.
It's not showing you moving anything. It's still showing the staircase.
Okay, I gotta remove that then. Hold on. Okay, let me switch. Let me switch over. Let me get back to Skype. I need to stop sharing that and start sharing. This happens. Okay, let me see. Confirm. Stop. Okay, let me know if okay, I'll have it right here. Hold on 1 second. Where is it? Why is it not working here? Hold on. I'm sorry. Let me just stop sharing. Then I'm gonna do it. Confirm. Stop sharing. Then I'll go back to share, and it should work. Why is it not showing up here? What's going on? I don't see my, oh, here we go. Okay, let me know if it shows, once it shows up.
Okay. Yeah, Taco Bell, there we go.
Okay, let me start over here. So, the bell's the Lord. So, who's their Lord? Lucifer. And that's the all-seeing eye right there within the bell. That's an eyeball, like the demon's eye almost. And you have the 6. So, when you look at like a Taco Bell building, they'll have like several, they'll have like three of these on there in different spots. You have your 666, but again, these signs and symbols are so very important. Let me show Taco Bell. I can find it really quickly. We're doing this all on the fly, of course. So when people tell me, "Oh, you're out of your mind," "Oh, RV's always stretching things. He's making up things." What the hell is this?
Oh, look at the lampshade. Yeah.
That's a square
compass. Amazing. Yeah. That's the Mason.
So, what I try to explain to people is, I don't just use one piece of information to provide evidence. I use multiple. So when people first hear me say Taco Bell, Freemasonry, it's a stretch. He's out of his mind. He's delusional. But I'm showing objective proof of things that people don't understand. So with this one scene, again, you see the Taco Bell, the 6, the eye, and there's the Masonic square and compass, the bricks, everything is there. And this is called Belluminati, which is commercial with the bell within the pyramid.
Oh, but look even the person that's sitting in front of it, you see with the reference to the crown.
Yeah, you see the crown. This is like the sun god. It's like the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah,
but really, what you see here is Belluminati, and the Lord, the Lord of, and of course, we know the pyramid is in the inner degree. It's 60 degrees within, so you have your 6, 6, 6 in the pyramid.
Yeah, it's a triple 3.
Yeah,
it's equilateral.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the reason for the pyramid is the 666 coded by the numbers with the 666 and the inner angles, and so they make a joke out of it, but That's how they always present the truth. Just like George Carlin, a lot of people think George Carlin's a hero. They don't understand George Carlin's nothing but a puppet putting out the truth in the duality comedy form, but people will not accept it because, oh, he's just a comedian, you know. And some people might say, oh, he's telling the truth, but majority of people say, oh, we can't take a comedian seriously. So what a scientist should be saying, or someone in the media should be saying, it's a comedian saying the truth, and people can't absorb that truth because it's not coming from the like an educational system or an educational forum. But yeah, that's basically
one thing that's very telling, showing on your screen now, where they're showing the Taco Bell at the Freemason Hall. Taco Bell at the Freemasons Hall there in England. I mean, why would they be there? Yeah, the Lodge of England. Why would they be there if they're not? I mean, that means they got ties because that's where the connections come from. The Freemasons really push Freemasons. That's how it works. They push each other's businesses. It's called the Brotherhood for a reason.
And the funny thing is, Brotherhood in numerology is 33 as well. So they love the name Brotherhood. People are like, they're really like pushing certain names. They talk in code, like when they say the words like frankly is 33. They like to say the word frankly. Distraught is 33. Certain key words in the media, they love to really hammer on. But yeah, brother, I'm glad you mentioned that because, to be honest, I've never seen that until I saw that like in the glimpse in the corner of my eye. I didn't read it because I was too busy presenting. But yeah, I'm glad because this must be newer because I haven't seen this Taco Bell at Freemason Hall, and it's very obvious. And the man's name, let me see here, Taco Bell founder. This is how far it goes. That people are not going to understand me that are new to this. So this man here, you see here, his name is Glenn Bell. So Glenn Bell, the numerology is 33. Where he was born is on the 33rd parallel. So it's amazing how it all comes together. But again, the bell everywhere. These are old Taco Bells. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of like in the same realm as Apple Computer. All these things are pushed out there because they're owned and controlled by Masons. You're not going to get worldwide distribution if you're a non-Mason. So Taco Bell's all over the place. McDonald's everywhere. So these enterprises will never be pushed on a massive scale throughout the world unless Masons and fellow Masons are part of it. Non-Masons are not going to get a spot anywhere in this world of any significance. Yeah. That's everything.
But I mean,
let me show this.
That's how they.
Let me show this, brother.
But that's how they usually catch a lot of people joining the Masons because the people see, oh, I have a business, and that's why they usually get businessmen to join the Masonries, because then you think, oh, I'm gonna have a lot of I can push my business out further. I'm gonna have a lot of contacts, and that's how they catch them because they want to be successful.
That's exactly it. I have an example of that. I want to talk about the Apple computer momentarily, but I want to really emphasize something. Where I live in the San Francisco Bay Area, I met a man that worked for Sony PlayStation, the headquarters in San Mateo, California. He gave me a tour of the place. He gave me his background. He said he used to own his own programming company in Washington State, in Seattle. Basically, he had some proprietary technology that he put out that Sony wanted, and they offered him a very handsome amount of money for it, and they basically bought out his company. And part of the deal was he would be part of Sony, work for them, and so to make a long story short, he's a Sony employee, works for Sony PlayStation production. He owned his own company. He's bought out. Now he's made a deal where he still works for Sony, even though they bought him out. So long story short, we're talking about a lot of things. Then he mentions what's in production, what they're going to be doing. Then he mentioned that Sony is going to be releasing these exclusive limited edition controllers. He told me they're going to be in different colors, yellow, red, orange, and so forth. And he said they're all exclusively numbered 666 each with each color. I said out loud to him, does this have anything to do with Freemasonry? I heard a grunt from him, like he was very angry instantly. And that basically ended our communications. I had his cell phone on his number on my phone. He was a gentleman to me. He would treat me out to coffee. After that, that was it. Over.
Wow.
It was over, just like that. Just because I mentioned Freemasonry and why is the 666 and all this stuff. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things I can show with video games, if we can do that. But let me show the Apple first with Apple Computer. So people just look at the obvious. If you can see that, brother.
Yeah, I can see it.
Bite into the Apple.
666. Okay. Wow.
Yeah. So we know this is Steve Jobs, and we know his quotes about how he looked in the mirror for 33 years and this. They always code their like famous quotes or something like that. But what I'm getting at is, there's many things besides the 666 sale price of the first Apple computer. It says bite into an apple, like you're biting into the apple of Garden of Eden. Mm-hmm. But the bite. So in computer technology, there's these terms are used, like computer bytes. How much bytes? Kilobytes. So that's the bite of the apple. Also, how much storage we have RAM. This is all about the occult, not just the price, but it's also been reflected in everywhere in society with all computers. IBM, of course, HP. It doesn't matter which computer you own now. They're going to be talking about RAM and these terms. But yeah, so what I'm getting at here is, now I'm going to show something else here that people will not understand, and people in your chat that are new to my stuff will think I'm nuts. They're not going to think I'm nuts so much after things I show them. Like here, for example, people see this logo all the time,
That's 666.
and they don't think much of it. They don't think much of these logos. Let me get a better one here. This one is. Let me see here. This one's good here. That one's big enough. So people don't realize this is P and an S, but what you're looking at is a serpent. That's a serpent's coil.
That's going
and like
around
a cobra standing up.
Exactly.
And people see this their whole life. You have to look deeper. You have to know Masons are very clever. And when they put out a logo in one of their major companies that are Masonically owned, there's going to be hidden things in plain sight that you don't see until it's pointed out to you. I'm not talking about you, brother. I'm talking to people that are new to this. And this is really key, really important. Let me show something else here. Like when it comes to the name Sega. So Sega, it doesn't mean anything. But when you put it in reverse, let me get a better one here. So Sega is ages backwards.
Yeah.
So Sega is ages. So when you have let me show this here. You have the Sega Genesis. Genesis is the beginning. So let me show this one here. Let me show here.
So they're actually saying going back to the beginning and backwards.
Yeah, so exactly. So what it means is, let me see here. Let me see this one. Let me just get this. This is their initial release. This is really important that I really want to emphasize this. So let me see here if I can find it. This is perfect. All right. So this is the best way to break it down. So Sega is ages in reverse. Genesis is the beginning. So it's the age of the beginning. And the game that was released with the Sega Genesis was called Altered Beast. Altered Beast is where a human turns into a beast. So it's like the transformation. Let me see if I can find that. Altered Beast. Let me see here if I get Altered Beast. So, like you see here, this is an altered beast. He's a human turning into a man turning into a beast. And let me see here if I can find the right one. Here you go. So he's a man, and this is why they love this concept of almost like the Antichrist, who transformed from a human to The Antichrist.
Yeah.
It's like why they love the monarch butterfly. It transforms from the cocoon to the caterpillar to the actual butterfly. They love frogs. It goes from the tadpole to a frog. They love the aspect of transformation. They love this kind of deal. It's kind of strange how these people like these kind of transformation type of things. But yeah, it's everywhere, just like Xbox.
Yeah, but I mean, it's them just worshipping their god, their idol, because they know it's like he's transforming.
Yes, this is something I want to tell you before I forget, brother. I don't mean to interrupt you,
No,
but
no,
I got to tell you this before I forget, because this is really important. So when you have, like, say, let me see here, Xbox logo. Let me see here, because this is really going to tie in with Craig, Fight the Flat Earth. So let me see here if I can find a one here. So this is the Xbox. They love the obviously the pyramid symbolism.
Mm-hmm.
This is by Microsoft, Bill Gates. So guess what? Guess who's really pushing Xbox before he was a quote flat Earth debunker? That was Craig Fight the Flat Earth. Look at his old channel. He was pushing Microsoft Xbox constantly. His whole channel was about Xbox games. Microsoft.
Weird.
Bill Gates. And guess what else he pushes? I'll just say it, the Seattle Space Needle.
Oh yeah.
What that symbolizes, the Space Needle, the needle,
The needle, yeah.
the jab.
The jab, yeah.
Yeah, so it's all intertwined. So I have old videos of Fight the Flat Earth when he was just a video game guy. He wasn't doing anything with quote debunking Flat Earth. He did solely videos reviewing Xbox with his wife and all this kind of stuff. So, but I'm getting off topic here, but definitely all these things, So Bill Gates wants to have his say in video games because there's so much programming in them with deep space, military, all these things. Let me see if I can find something else here. Let me see if I can find this here. This is important stuff here when it comes to, because these are things that are under the radar that no one else is really covering. And let me.
That's something everybody looks over.
Yeah, there's this one game. Let me see here. I think it's Call for Duty. I think it's Call for Duty. But they have this one. Let me see if I can find it here. But maybe I can't find it right now. When I'm live, it's hard to find.
Yeah, when you need it, it's difficult to find it.
Yeah,
I understand that
here.
one.
Yeah, let me see. Flat Earth. Let me see here. Flat Earth. Let me see. What's the name of the game? This is Call of Duty. There's another game. What's the other one besides Call of Duty? There's Call of Duty.
There's a lot.
Code of Honor. Maybe it's Code of. Was it something Honor? Code of Honor. Let me see here. But anyways, if I can't find it, I'll just continue on here. But they have. Look at this. What is this? Division
Turtle
2,
the flat.
Easter eggs. With Flat Earth on top of the turtle.
Yeah, you see, floating in so-called space, and they have all the physics behind it. You see that? Rockets. They're even showing rockets on the background. Look there, a rocket.
Yeah. And the elephants here too. The elephants holding it up
and it's
as
a
well.
flat Earth. Yeah, look, it's got what is on top there? Is that the flat Earth map? I don't know.
Yeah, that's the Flat Earth map. Yeah, that's the Flat Earth map. You see that?
Wow.
I'm just gonna get a better angle.
Wow.
Yeah, you see it here a little bit better. You see the map on top.
Wow. Easter egg secrets.
Yeah, it's called a secret room. Yeah, they do these kind of things, but and here's another one here. They're marking the Flat Earth.
Falling off the
going
edge.
over the edge. This is PlayStation 5.
Proves the Earth is flat.
Yeah, so
Medal of Honor. Where's Double 7 says Medal of Honor?
I'm sorry?
Medal of Honor was 777. It says Medal of Honor, which makes sense.
Okay, let's
I
try
played
that.
Medal of
Let's try
Honor
that.
on PC years ago, but I haven't played on Xbox or PlayStation, so I wouldn't know.
Let me see here. I'm trying to find that one.
Or Halo.
They had one where they show the dome, the flat Earth, in a video, and I'm trying to
Can it be Halo?
No, it's not Halo. It's something like one of these shooting games. Call for Duty, something Honor.
That's just him.
And they have like
Because they do have another Medal of Honor. It's like a it's like Into the Future Medal of Honor or something. It's a futuristic Medal of Honor they made. It's quite recently released.
Let me see here if I can find it. Yeah, here's the one, Division 2.
Yeah, we saw there.
Yeah, it's there, but they have. Let me see here. Yeah, I'm probably not going to find it. And this is what happens.
See, there's Professor Dave up there again. Why does he need to be up there? Exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah, only the shows get the first page, and that's how it works.
So this
But
is.
yeah,
So then again, I would love Professor Dave to actually come and debate me someday. If he has the balls
yeah,
to.
Here he is. Here, yeah. Yeah, that ain't gonna happen because he only deals with people that will. It's like the boxing match with Logan Paul or Jake Paul, whatever, versus Anderson Silva. That's not gonna happen unless it's gonna be fixed,
Yep.
because he would be destroyed by a real fighter. So, and people don't understand this and get it.
Owen says Medal of Boner.
Yeah, is it called? I think it's Call of Duty actually. Call of Duty. Is it Call of Duty? Let me see here.
Must be one of their latest ones.
But look at here. What is this? I haven't seen this one yet. Let's take a look here.
Flat Earth in Call of Duty Black Ops 4. There we go. There, it's showing on a
Let me take a
on a
look.
dome.
But here, yeah, this is it. This is what I was looking for. Here it is.
Wow.
In Call of Duty, this is it. So you guys see that, right?
Why would they even have to need to put that in?
Mocking us. They always
Yeah.
have to put the truth in plain sight. And this is, here's the thing is, this might be controversial with people, brother, in your chat, but I'm going to be very honest. There's a lot of people, in the flat Earth that claim that the circling sun doesn't work, that it's bogus, and based on light alone. Well, light can do a lot of different things. In my estimation, there's no doubt about we have a circling sun just based on heat alone, because we have tropical zones that, I deal with agriculture. I grow like mangoes, I grow jackfruit, I grow a lot of these exotic things. So the temperatures around the flat Earth equator never go under a certain temperature, because these trees will literally die. So you have these globers and these fake flat earthers saying, in Australia, we see the sun setting, basically southwest, and that means there's no way it could be a circling sun. Well, that's based on their simple perspective. Mm-hmm. But heat alone, like it says in the Bible, nothing can hide from the heat. Talking about the sun, how it makes it circuit.
Yeah.
The sun makes it circuit. So the heat alone, forget about light, because people say in Australasia, South America, the sun hovers there, or is in that general area. It's lighting up, it's illuminating that area for 17 hours. Well, the opposite end of the spectrum is nearly night, during that same time frame, what's happening on the other side of the flat Earth. So what I'm getting at is a lot of people are depending on light alone, where you can throw light, but you can't throw heat. So again, to be more concise, we have the two tropics. Of course, the Tropic of Capricorn, the Tropic of Cancer, where the sun circles around. And a lot of people within flat Earth are mocking that, but it's biblical. And not only is it biblical, it matches our reality. Mm-hmm. With, again, for example, I'll just say it like, for example, there are certain tropical trees that you cannot grow. You cannot grow like durian. You can't even grow it in Miami, Florida. It needs to be in the tropical equatorial zone, specifically Puerto Rico, Cuba, Indonesia,
Yeah, it needs that environment. It needs that specific environment.
So what I'm getting at is, even in South Africa, it snows, right? You guys get snow from time to time, right?
Yeah, in some parts, not everywhere though. Usually like the Drakensberg and stuff, yeah.
Yeah. It's obvious we have a central, so-called North Pole, the center that's ice. Then we have everything, the south of the so-called equator, that gets very cold. And to me, heat alone proves that we have this circling sun. I don't have all the answers to everything. I don't. I don't know exactly what the moon is made out of, or the sun is made of, but these things that can be proven through observation and temperature alone, it cannot be disputed. I mean, you might have a different opinion on that, brother, but that's how I see it.
Yeah, but that's why I say to everybody, that's what makes us all logical thinkers. Everybody has their own view on it. Obviously, we can't prove it because it's a bit impossible to prove it. But I mean, we're not the ones making actual claims like the globe Earth. So that's why they get ripped a whole new butthole every time, because they have physical claims and they have to back that claim up. And unfortunately, everything they have is just correlation based on faith, which stems from religion, from a cult. So
and I'll say this, a lot of people, are married to ideas and concepts. Mm-hmm. They don't want to deviate from something that's in their core. So we have to be like fluid with information. If someone provides information that's solid, I don't see a problem with changing one's perspective, one's outlook on things.
Yeah.
You could, like I said, we can have opposing opinions on that, brother. But that's kind of like where I'm at with it. I just want to get your thoughts on that.
No, I agree. I mean, it's definitely, like you've heard my streams before. It's definitely the sun moving. I'm not gonna doubt that, and it can definitely be in a cyclical. I've been having quite a few interesting conversations with, I don't know if you know the channel Darrell, but he's actually changed his name now to the Geometry channel or something. I'll send you the link to him, where he's actually starting to do mapping and stuff based on just the mathematics alone, on the angles and stuff to the sun and seasons, everything. What we've been chatting lately, just based on the math alone, it definitely shows flat Earth, not globe. It's impossible. It's literally showing they're hijacking the flat Earth to create their globe. It's very interesting.
Yeah. But yeah, I agree with that. But I'll definitely take a look at that channel, and maybe I'm bad with names, so I've probably seen that channel before. That name does sound familiar.
It's a small channel.
But what I'm getting at in my estimation, my observations, a lot of people are trying to discover flat Earth, like do all these experiments and try to figure it out. Like, these things have not been looked at for thousands of years. Like, they're the first ones to do it. I do agree we do have technology that really helps things like the P900, P1000. But what I'm getting at is I look at what the Bible says matches our reality. Mm-hmm. Again, with the circling sun, how it moves like as in a circuit, and nothing can hide from the heat. So things like that, then I look at our reality, I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. Like the pressurized system. Here's the thing is, people will like say, yes, we need a pressurized system, but they'll like avoid the dome or the firmament. They'll look at it like it's nonsense. But it matches what we need to have containment to have pressure. Yeah. So, but they'll like distance themselves because it's from the Bible. So we can't use that, and I don't want to validate the Bible, so they'll like remove that off.
But that's why I try and explain to them, when it comes to the Bible, you cannot claim scientific, because God is supernatural. Supernatural is above nature. So when they say, oh, but why isn't God? God created natural. We have to abide by natural law. God doesn't have to abide by natural law. So God can create himself, which goes against the first law of thermodynamics, because he created the natural law. We have to abide by natural law, hence we need containment to have gas pressure to exist, because that's how it works. And the Bible is literally stating this, so it is quote unquote actually showing physics to be true based on the Bible. Because no one can actually demonstrate to us gas pressure without containment. It's just impossible. But they will still have that belief that you can do this.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing is, getting back to the Bible where, I agree with you 100%. I should back up here. I agree 100% what you're saying about the Creator. He's a supernatural being, a spiritual being that created this physical world. And that's what people can't grasp and understand. And moving forward, the building blocks, the foundation is there biblically. And yes, we can try to piece things together that are not specifically stated. I don't have a problem with that. But the foundation of this world, and from Genesis, the waters above, the waters below, the firmament being firm. I don't know if you saw my video from regarding the Firmament Avenue in Los Angeles, the City of Angels. Have you seen that one?
No, was it recently or?
Yeah, let me see if I can screen share that. Let me see here if I can go to. It was recent, but let me see if I can screen share this. I find this really interesting for your viewers if they look at this, and we can talk as well. I'm trying to narrow it down and get to the maps. Yeah, I got it pretty much right away here, but I definitely want to really emphasize what is happening here with the structure of this world system we're living in. And let me see if I can pinpoint it here and if I get the right spot. And here we go. All right, this is perfect. I got it right away. Usually sometimes things take a while. But I want to get this screen shared momentarily here. And this is really something that, I like to do, look at things from a different angle as you do, my brother. And this is one thing I look at.
You're just going to have to screen share again.
Yeah, let me share it. Let me start sharing. Okay, let me share screen. So let me go to, is it sharing the right thing though? Stop. What do you see?
My face.
Let me stop again. Let me try it again. Share screen and let me go to, how about now? You see that?
There you go, the church.
The church. This is Los Angeles, the City of Angels. And look at the name of the street.
Firmament.
In front of this church. And how many people, thousands, hundred thousands, millions of people drove down Ventura Boulevard,
Firmament.
which is the Firmament, is a cross street, and Firmament, the City of Angels. So you see how the Masons are putting the truth in plain sight.
They have to, yeah.
And I find it so interesting that in front of the church with the cross, Firmament. And here's the thing.
I like the shape of the building.
Yeah, exactly too. Exactly. And we know they control the churches too, but here's the pyramid, the apex. And it looks like almost like Mickey Mouse ears with this one symbol here. It's kind of weird. But what I'm getting at is this. This is not the only firmament named street in the Los Angeles area. There's several. So this is Los Angeles. So if you go to like Sherman Oaks, you go to different cities in the surrounding suburbs of Los Angeles. There's several Firmament avenues in the vicinity. Also, nearby here, let me back up here so you can get a bird's eye view of this, so you can see what I'm looking at here. So what I find interesting too, you see the church here, but there's Orion Avenue nearby. Orion Avenue, where's it at here? Oh, here it is. So nearby Firmament Boulevard, you have Orion.
Orion
see
inside
that?
the firmament.
Yeah, so this is not the only one, like I said. Let me back up here. But again, so important. Near the third, the City of Angels, and like what I find interesting, it's in Orange County, Orange being 33, like Anaheim. What's funny is Disneyland is located in Anaheim, California. So Anaheim is on the third parallel. Anaheim in numerology is 33. Also, Disneyland's located in Anaheim. So all these kind of connections with Masonry. Cypress, the name Cypress is 33. There's a lot of things going on here with this area. So yeah, I mean, I always tell people when you look for information as a truth seeker, keep digging. You're going to find more and more because everything's Masonically basically laid out Masonically. So if you keep looking, you're gonna find more and more Masonic influence everywhere in our flat realm.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, here's the thing: on the third parallel, you have Phoenix. Just amazing. So you have the Phoenix lights, by the way. I should have mentioned that. You have the Phoenix. Let me do this too, actually. See if I can do this.
Coincidence? I think not.
Yeah. So let me show this here, okay? Phoenix lights. So what do we have here? And I spelled it wrong, but it's self-correcting. So let me show
I remember
this.
this, yeah.
So you see, this is back from the March 13th. They had a sighting. So again, everything's Masonically influenced. So let me do this here. Let me go back here and let me do this. And it's going to make sense to a lot of people. Again, when they put their signs and symbols in everything. So I mentioned before, I'll have to find it first. We see it already, but I want to get the single square when it comes to, not the compass. Let me get rid of that. So that's why I couldn't find it. Let me see if I can find it now. So let me find one I really like to. Let me see. I'll just use one of these. It's okay. So here we go. We'll just use this one image. So everything they put out. So imagine there's aliens in this supposed UFO, which is shaped as a Masonic square. They're putting the signs and symbols in their deception. So you imagine if you're an alien aboard this so-called UFO, and you need to get to the other side, you're going to walk all the way around to get here.
Yeah, for somebody that's supposed to be so advanced, it's a very idiotic design.
Yeah. So what I'm getting at is, as I just showed, of course, it's based on Freemasonry. Their deception, just like I showed earlier with the supposed UFO crash on the third parallel in Roswell. All these things, they're Masonic coded. So we had another crash. So this is Phoenix. Phoenix all has to do with Freemasonry, of course. So let me show you something else here. That's the wrong thing. UFO crash. Let's see here. So we have all these things. And here's one big one here. What do you have there? So you had another one by Stanton Friedman, obviously a Mason, pushing the Masonic UFO agenda. You had this in California, the crash at Corona. Also the third parallel with CC crash at Corona. And the Corona is the crown. So, I mean, everything that they're doing is coded. If they're pushing on History Channel, you know it's propaganda. We know this, brother. We know it.
Yeah,
I'm just putting it out there.
But have you also realized the way they spread the lights out of the users, always that angle.
Yeah, let me get back to that one photo here if I can, brother. Let's see here. Where'd it go? Oh, here we go. So yeah, what I'm saying is people they need to look deeper. You're going to see the Masonic influence. So again, this gets back to the chat that says it's not Masonically run. All the Masonic symbolism is there. So people can deny the truth. People deny the truth all the time. People deny the flat earth truth. Truthers will deny the truth as well. It's people like my brother. It's people like you and I that really dig deep, that really look at things beyond a lot of people in truth. We'll see these things and catch these things and making connections that are solid. With, again, the Masonic square in plain sight with this bogus UFO. It's so obvious. And of course, in Phoenix, the Phoenix, and let's take a look
Rise out of the ashes.
It's rising out of the ashes. Exactly, brother. You got it. But all these things, when you put it all together, there's no denying it. And this is the Masonic Lodge in Phoenix, Arizona. And there you go. And there's your inverted square. And that's the UFO shape they used. And the compass at the 47-degree angle. That's why they love the number 47 as well. And the apex, I should mention this too. The apex is called the polar star. the pole star, or Polaris, which is the all-seeing eye of Lucifer. And that's a lot of things people do not understand here. Let me see if I can get this. So, right here, this is a huge discovery I made in recent history. So it's hard to see, but it says pole star here.
Yeah.
So it's interchangeable with an eye. So they either have the pole star or the eye of Lucifer here. It's the same thing. So the eye in the sky. So let me show this. Actually, before I even show anything else, let me show this. So on the top of every Masonic temple or building, lodge, they have their god, Polaris, Lucifer, the eye in the sky that can cheat you blind for all to see.
Yeah.
And people deny the undeniable.
Yeah.
You know,
I actually got a video on screen that Michael sent me earlier with that all-seeing eye. The 300th anniversary, where they show the all-seeing eye and the Masonic. Can you see my screen?
let me go to it, brother. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
over here. I'm typing away. Let me go to your screen, brother.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You can see that.
There you go.
Exactly. I mean, come on. How much more plain can we see that? And it's got. I
Yeah.
mean, they got the whole checkered board and even the way they light it up.
Yeah, it's all there. So
Look
I'm
at all
going to
that.
show something else here. Let me see.
I mean, there's so much Masons there. It's insane.
I'm there. I didn't see that one, brother. I didn't see that one before.
Wow. Yeah, Michael Kahn sent this. I'll stick the. Thank you, Michael. Really awesome stuff. There's the video. I'm gonna send it to you on Skype as well.
Yeah, brother. I appreciate that. Let me see here. I'm looking for.
I see it's
Let me see
already.
if I can
I see it's
find-
already 12:30. Yeah, I have to get up at work in 3.5 hours.
Oh wow. Yeah, I'm going to show something here momentarily. Let me see if I can find it first before. Where is it? Why is it so hard to find things when we're live? When I'm not live, it's like shows up, no problem. Let me see here. Square and compass, Lucifer. So I show Polaris, the pole star. That's where Santa Claus is from, the North Pole.
Yep.
Santa Claus. But what I'm getting at here is, why am I having the hardest time finding it? I have no idea
What?
why I cannot find it. And Google has wiped out so much. Let me see here. Okay, anyways, I'm just going to show one of these depictions. If I can go, let me go back here. I had it actually. Let's see here. Yeah, this is going to do. I had a better one, but here, like I said, the pole star
Here's the eye of
is
Lucifer.
interchangeable with the eye.
Yeah.
So they're telling you that's the eye in the sky. Polaris,
The center.
stationary. And here's the thing is, like, let me show this one here.
Yeah, it's the center.
Let me show this, and I show this in a video presentation, but I want to show this to your audience. So when you have this happening here in the Mecca, so you have the cube, but it's really Polaris, and I'm going to explain that. Let me see here. So what happens here as our sky clock turns, let me get a better image. So this is the ceremony. It's all about their eye in the sky, Polaris and Lucifer, the sky box.
Oh yeah, check out
So it's
turns around
stationary in the
it,
middle.
yeah.
And it's moving clockwise. Everybody's moving around it in this ritualistic for the one-eyed God. But in this form, they put it as the sky box. There's more images, and of course you have all the Masonic influences, like the pillars, all these things here. But like I said, it's really important. These concepts are not pulled out of thin air. It's just like this, obviously. As we know, it's basically simulating
Around the star.
Polaris, the stationary star, and all the other stars doing the, just like we saw with the Mecca. It's all spinning around, and it's really everything's in plain sight once you break it all down. But yeah, there's so much more. Let me see if I can find it as well. But what I'm getting, oh, this is what I want to show. Let me see it. So this is really going to get people to think that are questioning what I'm presenting. So when you have the Georgia Guidestones, and here's Polaris dead center. So they have this peephole, and it looks directly at Polaris, as we know.
Don't you find it funny that they give the credit to Whitsitt, the reason why the Georgia Guidestones were demolished recently?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, they give him the
They're very
credit.
delusional.
They give him the credit. I was laughing.
They're very delusional. They're extremely delusional, but yeah, it's insane. But what's funny is, and I told this to Nathan Thompson. I said, you and Whitsitt were at the Georgia Guidestones. You guys missed a big, huge thing. The reason they have the eye looking directly at Polaris, that's their God. So they have all these rules, like the mocking the Ten Commandments. But they have this looking at Polaris for a reason. That's their God. They want to see their one-eyed, God, Lucifer, Polaris, the eye in the sky.
The center, yeah.
Yeah. So people say, "Oh, Saturn," but I want to show this here. Let me see if I can find this here. Masonic. Let me see here. Oops. Masonic. Temple, or let me say lodge. Let me see if I can find it. Hopefully I can find it quickly. If not, I'll just have to improvise. But let me see here if I can find it. I have it in a video, but basically, let me see. Sealing. Let me see if I can find it. Come on. Yeah, let me see here. Anyways, I don't want to spend too much time looking. I'll just explain. Oh, here it is. I found it. Thankfully, I found it. Okay,
wow,
let me get to this one here. So this is perfect. I was about to give up, but I wanted to point this out. Let me scroll down here first to the actual. Here we go.
Subscribe today.
Here it is. But here's what I want to show.
Oh, wow.
So people say, people always talk about Saturn. Saturn is an entity. Saturn is like all the luminaries. I believe the stars are souls and the wandering stars, so-called planets, but they're really pinpointing the eye in the sky, and that's their one-eyed God that they have on all their ceilings. Again, just look up and you'll see the truth of the Masons' God. And of course, being
the angels.
If you're involved, yes, and this is one thing I want to really emphasize to the listeners that people don't understand about Masonry. To be a Mason, you have to believe in a deity. That's the first step. It doesn't matter which one. It could be any deity. But the point is, if you're an atheist, it's too long for them to go to the believing in a deity. So they want to get your foot in the door, believing in a deity, but they switch the deity. So if it's Jesus Christ, they convince you Jesus Christ is Lucifer. Or if you worship Allah or Buddha or whatever, they're going to convert you from one deity to another. So that's why they don't want to bring atheists into the lodge.
That's why they simply call it the light bearer.
Yes, and there's a lot of confusion with that, but definitely we have to get back to flat Earth with this. So the Bible says we know there's the Most High. Why would they say there's the Most High? Because there's the Prince of Power of the Air, and that's Polaris, Lucifer, that's running things in this realm. And I believe with the sun, moon, the stars, and they work with Polaris in the center. So, people can come to their own conclusions. But when it says in the Bible in 2 Corinthians 4:4, how Satan is the god of this world, Lucifer, whatever you want to call him, there's again multiple names. People get that confused. Just like Baal, Nimrod, old Nick, all these different names, but it's basically the same entity. So that's another form of confusion. But what I'm getting at, to be more concise, is this is the god of this world. That's why they love, again, Bel Air, like Bel Air, California, is the Lord of the Air. Like the Prince, like little subtle things I showed in a video presentation. When they have shows like the Fresh Prince of Bel Air, he comes from Philadelphia, which is known as.
And the way they sing, the way they even have the words in it when they sing it, as well, they give it away.
Yeah. So when it comes to the Fresh Prince of Bel Air, he comes from Philadelphia, which is known for the Liberty Bell. So he moves from Philadelphia, where the Liberty Bell is located, which is basically the Liberty Lord, because the Bell is Lord, to Bel Air, California, and basically that's the Lord of the Air. That's their one-eyed God. Now, if you watch the opening of the Fresh Prince of Bel Air, they show so much Masonic symbolism, and maybe we can do that. Let me see here if we can do that real quickly here. Let me see here. Actually, let me do this. And we're going to see so much things hidden in plain sight that people have missed.
And if no one knows what Fresh Prince of Bel Air is, where have you been?
Yeah, if you don't, just Google it. Well, I'll show it, because I'm going to show the opening, and you're going to see exactly these Masons are putting their everything in plain sight. So let's play this one here. Just maybe this one here. Yeah, let's play this one. So hopefully you guys can see that.
Yeah, we can see that.
So I'll just talk over it.
Okay.
So first off, he's doing the Masonic hand sign, holding the glasses. Now he's spinning upside down.
And he's got the orange collar.
Okay? Yes. So he's spinning upside down. He's doing the hangman pose as well. Right? He's holding the glasses still. Now look at his legs. He does the cross. Now he's in the hangman position. He's doing the hangman position.
And the Baphomet sort of got that kind of...
Yes, now watch this here. Look at the eyes. Look at the ears. It might be harder for you guys to see. Let me go full screen. Hopefully you guys can see that good. But the eyes are like 3.
Oh, there we go, yeah.
6 and 6. They have hope, like for Freemasonry here. Let me continue the video. But now, he's in almost the hangman position. You see all the symbols of dollar signs, the pig on the platter, and I'm going to move up a little bit more. Now, it's kind of hard to see here, but you're going to see 3 triple sixes here. Like I said, he's in the hangman position. Can you guys? I'm going to play the video all the way. See that 666 there?
Yeah, and the by the guys.
The eyes here, but right here as well. So for people that don't understand, he's in the hangman position. Let me back up a little bit. So this is the legs crossed. So let me do this.
And note also how they gave that guy on the bottom there the red hair with his orange shirt as well. I mean the red hair,
brother.
The orange has also got meaning to it.
Yeah, brother, you hit the nail on the head. What I'm showing, there's even more than I'm showing, because you just keep looking, you're gonna find more and more occult. But what I'm getting at here is this is the hangman card. With he's in the same.
And he does it exactly with his legs. Yeah.
Yeah, he has a cross in front, but it's basically the same position if I back it up here. And that's why they love to turn things upside down too. So that's another part why the chair is upside down. Yeah, but he's doing that. Yeah, but there's so much more when they show, police is 33 numerology, but but they show FF for 66. But I want to show a little bit more here.
And it's F forever. Did you see that?
Yes. Let me skip ahead here. I want to show this something else here. There's more things here, like the serpent's coil with the so-called woman in the back, baby, and the double E's is reverse 33. There's a lot of stuff in here, but the main thing is in the Masonic lodges they love to display the 69, the orange, like you said. But here's the spiral serpent. Let me get a little bit of a close-up. So this is like a snake's coil, a serpent's coil here, but it also says chaos, like as an order out of chaos.
Mm-hmm.
They have lightning bolt, they have everything. Let me see what else I can find here. There's more, and I'm going to get to it. Right here, where they show the cab driver, and they have the Masonic, and the Hollywood, of course. Hollywood, that's all about witchcraft, where the Druids made witches' wand, magic wands out of the Hollywood tree. And yeah, this is pretty much it with this brother as far as a fresh prints. There's so much more. Are you sending me some more messages here? Oh, good. Perfect. I see that. Freemason Truth on TV. Yes, okay. With the British monarchy. Okay, I see that. And yeah, that's pretty much it with the fresh prints of Bel Air. And but that gets into. Let me stop screen sharing. And maybe I showed this already, maybe not. I apologize if I'm going over this again. But let me show this before I forget. Let me stop this. And anytime you want to jump in, brother, just obviously, you know.
That's fine. I don't think we can really go on much longer because I've got to go to work almost.
Okay, no worries.
Yeah, because I was thinking we can always do another stream as well if you would love to. We can always carry on with
brother,
it.
But
oh yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, let me just finish up with this one last thing. I don't know if I showed it, but if you have it screen shared.
Yeah, it's there.
Is it shown?
Is that pink?
Okay. Yeah, pink. So last thing before you, I know you gotta get to work, brother, but pink. Last thing, again the androgyny, the male and female. Pink. I've already made videos exposing, but of course the checkerboard pants. It's almost like the pant leg, almost quote rolled up. It's not. Of course, it's connected, but it's very similar to the blindfold, the one breast showing. But I'm just showing people that are, again, not to be repetitive, but the people saying Masons are not running things. You know, why are they showing Masonry all over the place? If it's so prevalent, I'm showing evidence of Masonry everywhere, and people will still deny it. But I'll let you close up, brother, on that note.
Yeah, no, that's the whole reason for tonight's stream. It's to show the influence that Masonry has on society. And the fact that we get so much people saying they don't run it is showing they're successful with the influence because they've been desensitized to it.
Absolutely, brother. And that's key, desensitized. And it's like right in their face, and they'll still deny it. But that gets back to one last thing, is once people have a core belief, that's in the mainstream and in truth. Once people establish a belief, they're married to ideas and concepts. Now they have to admit they're wrong. They admit they were fooled by the mainstream media. Now they're in truth. Now they say Masons are not in control. And now they're fighting themselves over it. I'm showing evidence to prove all the Masonic connections, and they'll still deny it.
Yeah.
Even though it's right there.
Yeah.
You know, it's unbelievable, brother.
Remember, you can lead a camel to water, but you can't make it drink.
That's it, brother. And you know what? The more I push it with people, the more they're going to resist too. Just like Flat Earth. When I first started making Flat Earth videos, people got so angry with me. Oh, you're pushing this disinfo, Flat Earth, this nonsense. Oh, you're destroying your channel. What are you doing? All that kind of talk, you know. But brother, I'm not gonna keep rambling on because you have you gotta go to work, brother. But I want to thank you, brother. I know I've been rambling on for the longest time, and nice. But I think it's important to. This is about Freemasonry, and that's my forte. So I definitely wanted to present a lot of information.
Yeah, thank you very much. But you should definitely have another stream sometime. Then we can carry on, or whatever. But I've really, you bring a lot to the table. That's what I love about it.
Thanks, brother. And one thing I want to say, and I know people are going to say this in the chat. I haven't seen the chat. Is RV's been going on and on. Flatzoid hasn't been talking that much relatively, because I'm so used to doing my own thing. But definitely, we'll have a more interactive.
No, my audience enjoys you.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah,
that's good, brother. Because I don't want people to say, oh, you know, he doesn't let the host talk that much. But what I'm getting at is in the future, we'll do, like you mentioned, more Q&A, more back and forth dialogue. But I just want to really hammer the point about Masons running the show, and I'll let it go on that point.
Yeah, definitely. I really do appreciate you coming on the show.
Thank you, brother, for inviting me. I'm so happy to be here on your platform. And brother, anytime you want me to jump aboard your platform and talk about any topic, I'm on here, brother.
Awesome, thank you.
Yeah, one last thing. We had a hiccup in the beginning. I thank everybody for standing by because we had a lot of issues getting Zoom, not Zoom, but Skype to work. But persistence breaks resistance, and that's what we did, and we got the show going.
Yeah.
We didn't give up.
But yeah, I just want to say thank you on behalf, even the people on my stream. I'm sure we're all very grateful for you coming on the stream. Everybody's saying thank you. Brilliant stream, and I 100% agree. I do really appreciate the things you do bring to the community, Ari. And I wish you all the best for your new channel.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate that extremely, extremely so very much, and definitely thanks to the people that are listening in, and to you once again, brother, for your fantastic work. You deserve a lot more credit because to me, as far as intelligence, you're sky high. People have seen your debates with these people, and once you listen to them, if you're a flat earther, you're like, wow, this guy, he blows away the rest when it comes to debating. There's absolutely no one that can touch you as far as flat earth debates, and definitely I'm going to be watching more of them in the future.
Thank you very much. So again, we'll keep in contact. I'm definitely going to want you on again, that's for sure.
All right, brother, stay in touch and definitely message me anytime, and we'll stay in contact.
Awesome, and anytime you need me, let me know.
Absolutely, brother. Have you a guest on my channel since I was on your channel? How about that?
That would be great.
And you'll be the one doing the talking. Not me, on my channel.
Then I'll actually have to prepare something.
No, we'll have a back and forth, brother. We'll have a back and forth on that. But awesome, brother. Thank you so much.
Definitely.
Once again.
Okay, sure,
All right,
man.
brother. Take care.
Thank you very much. Blessings.
Okay, blessings to you, brother. Take care.
Thank you, everybody, for coming. I hope you enjoyed that stream as much as I did because it was brilliant. I really do enjoy all the information he brought through to us. Thank you guys for coming. Yeah, so based on the poll, 210 votes. The Masons run this world. Yes, 20% and no 80%. Obviously, there was a lot of information brought. We could have brought another 4 or 5 hours of information easy. But I definitely have to get to bed now because I have to wake up in 3.5 hours for work. So thank you guys for coming. Really do appreciate you guys being here. You guys are awesome. If you do like what you see, please don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, hit the like button, and share the channel. Till next time, may the pressure be with you. Blessings.